World-Defying Dan God Chapter 4161, Meet Big Brother. These old men are also old after all, so they are relatively restrained. Although it seems that they have to fight at any time, they calm down quickly. However, they still had the sacred talisman in their hands, as if they didn't agree, they would go to war. Chen Shang was a little depressed. He thought the assessment process would be easier, but he didn't expect to encounter so many things, which was completely different from what he had imagined before. Let's stop fighting, it's up to Shen Xiao to decide everything. A thin old man finished speaking, then looked at Chen Shang and said, Shen Xiao, you choose me, don't think I am the thinnest one, but I am the richest. Shen Xiao, I am the dean of the Rune Academy. They are just elders and their status is far inferior to me. In the Rune Academy, everything is my final say. Wang Tianwen said. Fart, the dean is a messenger. You take care of so many things in the Rune Academy all day long, how can you have time to instruct people? And after you claimed to be the dean, you started to float, and didn't concentrate on practicing runes at all. Another old man said. Stop the nonsense, let's let Shen Xiao choose by himself. Who he chooses is who he has a relationship with. A chubby old man said. At this time, the 9 old men looked at Chen Shang. Although they didn't say a word, they secretly gave Chen Shang a crazily sound transmission, asking Chen Shang to choose them and also offered many good conditions. Chen Shang really has a headache, because no matter which one he chooses, other old people will feel very dissatisfied, and they will more or less dislike it in the future. Shen Xiao, make a decision quickly. With your talent, you can indeed make alchemy at the same time. If you worship me as a teacher, I will definitely allow you to do so. Wang Tianwen laughed. I'm very upset now. Chen Shang suddenly made a plan and said coldly. Seeing him say this, the other old men looked at each other. Why do you think you are qualified to be my master? You just let me choose you so casually, are you worthy? Chen Shang said with an arrogant expression. In my opinion, as far as your level is concerned, I am afraid that you can't teach me. Wang Tianwen and the 9 of them were all startled. They are all thinking whether they are worthy of being the master of the young man in front of them. If you want to be my master, you can pass my assessment. Chen Shang smiled and said, if you can't even solve the problems I gave, you are not qualified to be my master, are you? It's true, you can ask the question. Wang Tianwen nodded and said, if I can't pass your assessment, I am willing to worship you as a teacher. Me too, quote. Several other old men all followed. Chen Shang originally thought that by doing so, it was just not to let himself fall into many difficult choices, but he did not expect to develop into this way. If he accepts these old men as disciples, it is also a headache. If he comes to him in 2 days, how can he practice with peace of mind? I don't need to be a teacher or something, maybe, if you really can't pass my assessment, then we will be equal to the same generation, how about? Chen Shang said. I can't pass your test, so I will worship you as the eldest brother. Wang Tianwen said again. Several other old men all followed and said that if they failed the examination, they would worship Chen Shang as their eldest brother. Chen Shang was a little speechless, it was not at all worrying to accept such 9 old naughty boys as little brothers. Well, let's examine it first. Chen Shang took out a piece of rune paper, and then quickly drew runes on it. The runes he drew included some god's rune patterns. The god's rune that Kunmin gave him was remembered in his mind, and he now combined the sanctuary runes. After he finished painting, all those backers gathered around and watched carefully. I have added 10 more special runes. Can you choose from them? Just pick one, and you will pass the test. Chen Shang said, it's actually very simple. I will give you half an hour. Time. Chen Shang drew a total of 200 runes, of which 10 runes were god's runes, and they were hidden in them. These 9 old men were dumbfounded at once, because these runes seemed to them to be the same. Why are there special runes? Shen Xiao, shouldn't you scribble this? Wang Tianwen frowned and said, it makes no difference at all. After half an hour, I will personally pick out 10 special runes, and then combine them. You will know if there is a difference then. After Chen Shang finished speaking, he found a chair to sit down and rested comfortably. Wang Tianwen and the others also looked at it very seriously, carefully considering every rune pattern. In fact, these runes are very unfamiliar to them, they have never seen them before, and Chen Zhang's ability to draw such complicated runes has already shocked them. Most of the sanctuary runes painted by Chen Shang were from Kunmin's point of view, and he could memorize them with just a glance, and they would understand them well. Even if Kunmin came, he might not be able to quickly find the god's domain rune hidden in it. Soon, half an hour passed. Wang Tianwen and the others didn't pick out any special runes, and they didn't even get blinded, indicating that they really couldn't see it, and they didn't bother to get blinded. Chen Shang walked to the big table, then picked up the pen, and drew 10 gods' rune patterns on a blank piece of paper next to it. In the process of painting, he also pointed out the corresponding runes from the original 200 strokes. After Chen Shang picked out 10 special runes, Wang Tianwen was dumbfounded. Because after the combination, it turned out to be a very simple set of God's domain runes. Even with 10 simple strokes, they may not be able to draw them. You can't pass my assessment. Chen Shang smiled. You are not qualified to be my master. Wang Tianwen and they were shocked at this moment. This little boy can actually draw the runes of the gods. This is simply impossible, even for them it is difficult to do it. Shen Xiao, you must have a master. Who is he? Don't catch us. Wang Tianwen smiled bitterly. Is it an old monster that deliberately sent an apprentice to mock us? I met Grandma Kun by chance and got her instructions. She recommended me to Da Kun Gate. But she didn't allow me to reveal her whereabouts. Chen Shang had already thought of her words and said in a low voice. Hearing Chen Zhang's words, Wang Tianwen's eyes widened. Farewell to Big Brother. After Wang Tianwen was surprised, he bowed immediately. When the other old men reacted, they all hurriedly shouted, Meet Brother. Forget it. I'm also going to participate in the alchemy assessment. By the way, regarding God's domain rune and Granny Kunzu, please keep your brother's secret. Chen Shang is actually too old, and it's okay to accept these old men as younger brothers. Brother, please rest assured, we will go back now and make you a purple gold jade order. By the way, don't live in the Dragon Inn, come to the Rune Academy. Wang Tianwen smiled and said, you can save a lot of days. Beads. No, I'm more comfortable staying in Longlin Inn. Shen Shang laughed. Brother, you come to the Rune Academy, I will hire 10 girls to serve you. Wang Tianwen said with a smile, I guarantee my brother's satisfaction. I'm not that kind of person, let's leave first, I'm going to participate in the alchemy test. Chen Shang laughed, turned his head and ran. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4162, Have Hands. Chen Shang was afraid of being entangled by these old boys, so he slid quickly. He planned to wait until he passed the alchemy assessment before going to the Rune Academy to report to receive the purple gold jade order. Just participate in the assessment, and directly get the Zijin Jade Order, this is what Chen Shang thought of before. If those old boys lie to him, then his Zijin Yuling is better than Fu Yuanyuan and Fu Yuya. Fu Yuanyuan and Ke Yumeng outside the assessment building saw Chen Shang running out in a hurry, as if hiding something. Master Shen, how's it going? Why did you come out so quickly? Didn't you pass the first round? Fu Yuanyuan was a little unbelievable, because in her opinion, Chen Zhang's runes should be very good, otherwise they would not be able to point Kunmin. Fast. How long does it take for the general rune assessment? After Chen Shang finished speaking, he looked behind him, and then hurried to the alchemy assessment building. Fu Yuanyuan and Ke Yumeng could only follow quickly. They both thought that Chen Zhang's rune pattern had been tested. You just got in just not long. Rune examinations usually take 2 or 3 hours. Fu Yuanyuan whispered. Master Shen, it doesn't matter if you don't pass, you still have to make alchemy examinations. I passed. Chen Shang said flatly. My situation is quite special, so I just passed the first pass. Really? Then, do you have a token that passed the assessment? Fu Yuanyuan quickly took out a golden token from her magic treasure, and said, this is a disciple order from the Rune Academy brand. Chen Shang glanced at it and said, did these things be posted immediately? Yes. Fu Yuanyuan said, they are already ready, as long as you pass, you drop blood on it, and then introduce a ray of soul, you can bind the token of the Rune Academy. This, they said they would wait for them to do it, and then they told me to go to the Rune Academy to get it. Chen Shang scratched his head and said, maybe they forgot to bring it. That's good. Fu Yuanyuan couldn't understand why Chen Zhang's situation was so special. The assessment time is very short, not to mention, and the identity token is not given immediately. What she didn't know was that Chen Shang had directly become a disciple of Zijin Yuling. Of course, the Zijin Yuling can't be made right away, and you need to go back and get it. Fu Yuanyuan thought that Chen Shang would not lie to her, so he could only wait for Chen Shang to get the token before inquiring. How is the process of alchemy assessment? Chen Shang actually participated in these assessments to see if he could make some friends. For example, if you participate in the rune examination and enter the rune school, if you can make friends with the elders inside, it is equivalent to finding a better tool. Participating in the alchemy assessment, if he can get to know the elders of the Holy Pill Academy, he will have a tool person again. In this Dakun sect, although Fu Yuya and others are disgusting, there are still many good people in the Dakun sect. For example, Ke Yumeng's father, Ke Yuanfei, should be released soon. Besides, Dakan Gate is Guan Ying, he is hiding here, and he can find an identity from here in the future, so as not to be found out of identity, which is not conducive to hiding himself. Brother Shen, do you really know how to make alchemy? Dad said, alchemy is more difficult than runes and requires talent. Ke Yumeng asked. Yes, generally speaking, the lightest alchemist is very rare. My father has many children, and he always hopes to have an alchemist, but it's a genius. Fu Yuanyuan also said. What's so difficult about alchemy? Chen Shang smiled. Alchemy is commonplace for me. Shen Gongzi, you said so, but alchemy is really difficult. I have tried to become an alchemist. I insisted on it for half asterisk, and achieved nothing, but finally gave up. Fu Yuanyuan said, actually, I am considered good. I have an older brother. He has studied 10, but he barely got started, and finally gave up. This really surprised Chen Shang. Is there any restriction on Sanctuary's alchemy? Dakun sect is, at any rate, a great force in the Sanctuary, and it actually has a system for training alchemists. Is it really difficult to make alchemy? I think it's fine to have hands. Chen Shang was puzzled. Both Ke Yumeng and Fu Yuanyuan looked at Chen Shang with strange eyes. They doubted whether Chen Shang would make alchemy, but they did not dare to doubt. Because in the Sanctuary, as long as an alchemy master, he would never say that alchemy is easy. Refining alchemy is easy, just have hands. If Ke Yumeng and Fu Yuanyuan and Chen Shang are very familiar, they would think Chen Shang is bragging. Not long after, Chen Shang arrived at the building for the assessment of alchemy. This building is very easy to recognize, it is the largest and tallest here, and there is a large golden furnace on the roof. Although it is the largest examination room here, it is very deserted like the rune examination room. When Chen Shang walked in, there was a very dull breath rushing towards his face, apparently a lot of hadn't been opened. The door was opened because he came to participate in the assessment today. Many people have never participated in this assessment before. Chen Shang is very curious, so many come to participate in the alchemy assessment. How does Dakun sect maintain the number of alchemists? A martial art sect, if it has enough alchemists, it can't be regarded as a sect. Ke Yumeng and Fu Yuanyuan were still waiting for Chen Shang outside, because outsiders could not enter the examination room. After Chen Shang walked in, she saw an old wrinkled grandma coming out. After she saw Chen Shang, she was quite surprised. Are you Chen Shang? The grandmother held a piece of paper in her hand and said, are you the disciple who signed up for the assessment today? Was it recommended by Zijinyuling disciple Fu Yuanyuan? Yes, senior, this junior is Chen Shang. Chen Shang took out Fu Yuanyuan's purple gold jade order and his identity jade card, and handed it to the old woman. Do you really know how to make alchemy? You are really not a joke. If you fail the assessment, Fu Yuanyuan, who recommended you to sign up, will suffer. Her Zijinyuling will be taken back. The grandmother said. Chen Shang had known before that Fu Yuanyuan had helped him sign up for these two assessments, but he had taken great risks and had great trust in him. I know. Chen Shang nodded and said, the juniors came to the assessment sincerely. He looked at this old grandmother carefully and carefully, she was of good character. I'm the examiner, Yu Dandan. The grandmother nodded, and then asked, Qingren, how did you learn alchemy? I grew up in the mountains since I was a child. I followed Master's hermit practice and learned from Master. I don't know his name. He suddenly took me out and entrusted me to Elder Ke Yuanfei to take me into the Dakun sect. Where did he go? Chen Shang made up a paragraph casually. Ke Yuanfei, it's a pity, he was framed, I'm afraid it will be difficult to get out. Yu Dandan sighed. Knowing that Ke Yuanfei had brought it in, Yu Dandan's eyes softened a little when he saw Chen Shang. Do you like this site? Donate here. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4163, in one go. Chen Shang knew at a glance that Ke Yuanfei and Yu Dandan had a relationship. Senior, a good person like Uncle K must be able to wash his innocence. Chen Shang said. Young man, you just came to Dakan Gate, you don't understand anything. Yu Dandan shook her head, and then sighed again and again. It was obvious that she had no hope for this. Senior, with your status, can't you help Uncle K? Chen Shang asked. Who do you think I am? Yu Dandan asked rhetorically. Aren't you the Dean of the Holy Pill Academy? Chen Shang really thinks so. I'm the Dean of the Holy Pill Academy. Yu Dandan couldn't help laughing. Young man, you value me too much. I'm in the Holy Pill Academy, just an ordinary alchemist. Huh, Chen Shang was a little surprised. When he was in Rune Academy before, the Dean came to examine him himself, and there were a lot of elders. Why do you think I am the Dean? Yu Dandan was a little curious. Because I just came out of the Rune examination room, and the Dean checked me over there. Chen Shang said, so I think the alchemy examination is also the Dean. Oh, you still participated in the Rune examination. Did you pass? You know, Rune and alchemy are not compatible with both, you don't have that much energy alone. Yu Dandan was surprised. I passed the test, Chen Shang answered truthfully. Actually, my favorite is still alchemy. Dean Wang Tianwen said before that if I pass the Rune test, I won't go to alchemy, but I still insist on coming. Ah, you really passed the Rune test? Is there a token? Yu Dandan was even more surprised. No, they said to go back and do it for me. Chen Shang said. Ah, go back and do it for you. Is it for you to make a purple gold jade order? How many points did you score? Yu Dandan said with a shocked expression. I only took the first round. Chen Shang scratched his head and said, then they said that I would be a disciple of Zijin Yuling in the Rune Academy. Yu Dandan took a few deep breaths. The disciple of Zijin Yuling who passed the examination of the Rune Academy actually knew how to make alchemy. Senior, even though I passed the Rune test, I really like alchemy. Would you dislike me stepping on 2 boats? Chen Shang pretended to be scared and asked. What is disgusting or not? As long as you can pass the assessment, you can enter the Holy Pill Academy. Yu Dandan said. By the way, it is very rare that you know how to make alchemy as young as you are. There are no young disciples in this year. How did the alchemy master of Dakun sect come from? Chen Shang asked curiously. It's all recruited from outside. With the best conditions, go and dig up alchemists from other sects. Now we are looking for alchemists, all of whom are directly available. Yu Dandan smiled and said, of course, like you, if young alchemists really pass the assessment, we will also focus on cultivation. Senior, the Holy Pill Academy is better than the Rune Academy, isn't it? Otherwise, the Dean of the Rune Academy will not come to test me directly. Chen Shang laughed. Of course, without our sacred pill, how can the proud guys in the Rune Academy improve their cultivation? And they also have to eat our pill before they can concentrate on drawing runes and refining tools. Yu Dandan said with a smile. It is very spiritual to draw runes. Sometimes a painting is continuous for many days, and it is supported by eating holy pill. Senior, can you start the assessment now? Chen Shang couldn't wait. Of course. Yu Dandan quickly took out a pill furnace and several medicinal materials. Chen Shang didn't know what kind of medicinal materials it was, but he could tell at a glance that these medicinal materials were not of high grade, but they were extremely mutually exclusive. Especially these kinds of medicinal materials add up, it is difficult for ordinary people to integrate them thoroughly. But for Chen Shang, this is a piece of cake. What kind of situation has he not encountered in so many years of alchemy? Refining these medicinal materials into pills, even if you pass the assessment. Yu Dandan said, I will give you 10 hours. 10 hours? Chen Shang asked in surprise. Is it too little? Don't think about entering the Holy Pill Courtyard so simple. Yu Dandan finished speaking, sitting on a chair, then staring at Chen Shang, and said, now start timing. Chen Shang feels that 10 hours are too long, so when refining this kind of broken pill, let alone 10 hours, he doesn't need 1 hour. Since being reborn, Chen Shang feels that he has made alchemy easier than before. Because no matter the flames he released, the energy he released, and the divine consciousness, they could easily cause the medicinal materials to merge and condense pills. He thinks it may be that he has been sealed for 100,000 years, and he has thoroughly integrated the heavenly alchemy technique and various alchemy experiences into his soul. He didn't know this process himself, because he was sealed at the time and it was so boring. He was simulating alchemy in his mind all day, and he didn't know how many times he simulated it. It seems that he is just using flames to refine alchemy at will, but he has used the magical technique of heaven refinement unconsciously. So refining this holy pill is really a piece of cake for him. Chen Shang put the medicinal materials into the pill furnace, then injected flames to burn them into powder, and then aggregated the various powders and gas. Seeing Chen Zhang's operation, Yu Dandan shook his head again and again, then sighed again and again. His eyes showed extremely disappointed, obviously thinking that Chen Shang would not make alchemy at all. In order not to appear too shocking, Chen Shang delayed for an hour before opening the pill furnace. "Senior, I'm done," Chen Shang said. "What?" Yu Dandan was stunned, because it was too fast for her. It could be refined in 1 hour. Even she can't do it. Moreover, the steps of Chen Zhang's alchemy were very different from what she knew. It didn't mean that Dan Dan had reacted, and Chen Shang opened the lid of the furnace, and then 5 golden pills floated out. "Senior, what is the quality of the pill I refined?" Chen Shang used his powerful spirit to control the 5 pill to fly in front of Yu Dan. Yu Dandan was stupid. It is impossible for her to make 5 pills in one furnace, and it is only 1 hour to refine them. Even the Dean of the Holy Pill Academy cannot do it. However, the fact is right in front of him. It is impossible for Chen Shang to cheat at all, and his every move is watched by Yu Dandan. The pill furnace is hers, the medicinal materials are hers, and the 5 pills are freshly baked. "You, how did you refine it?" Yu Dandan put the few pills in his hand, and then ate one of them by himself. His eyes flashed golden light and his face was shocked, and he asked. "Just put the medicinal materials in, burn them into powder and medicinal gas, and then fuse the scattered powder and medicinal gas into one ball. After the fusion is complete, they are divided into 5 groups, and they are condensed into pill. I did it in one go and it was smooth." Chen Shang talked about the process, and it was really the same as what he said. It sounded simple, but Dandan heard it as if he was listening to the heavenly book. "Talent. This is a talent. It is an innate talent." Yu Dandan exclaimed. "You, little brother, you might be able to become the youngest Zijin Yuling disciple in the Holy Pill Academy." World Defying Dan God Chapter 4164, Deceased. Chen Shang was immediately confused. Why could a furnace of pill he casually refined could make him a disciple of Zijin Yuling? He had deliberately slowed down, otherwise he could refine this furnace faster, but even so, it was already very amazing. "Senior, this is not so good. I am already a Zijin Yuling disciple of the Rune Academy," Chen Shang said. "The Rune Academy belongs to the Rune Academy, and the Holy Pill Academy belongs to the Holy Pill Academy." Yu Dandan smiled and said, "Brother, wait a minute, I will invite the Dean of the Holy Pill Academy." "President, no need. It's not good to trouble the Dean over this little matter. Let's go over," Chen Shang quickly said. "You know, the Dean seldom shows up in normal times, but the Dean has specially asked before that if you meet a young man who can refine this high-quality holy pill, you must report it immediately." Yu Dandan said. "Why report it? By the way, what kind of pill I refined just now?" Chen Shang couldn't see it either. "It's a first-order sacred pill, a sacred power pill, and it is also a king-level quality pill." Yu Dandan looked at the few golden brilliance pill and exclaimed, "I haven't seen a king-grade sacred power pill for many years." Then she took out the subpoena and was contacting the Dean. Chen Shang can only wait patiently now, and it's not bad to meet the Dean. If the relationship is good, then the Dean of the Holy Pill Academy must be a very useful tool. He still doesn't know how long he will stay in the sanctuary, and he also needs to recruit troops to help him with some chores. "Master Shen, who is your master? He is definitely not easy," Yu Dandan asked very curiously. "I don't know, I have been taken in by him since I was a child, and I don't know his name." Chen Shang shook his head. "If the Dean comes and takes you seriously, then, maybe you can help Ke Yuanfei get out," Yu Dandan said. "Huh, Senior, do you have a bad relationship with the Dean? Can't you just ask the Dean for help?" Chen Shang asked curiously. "The Dean is a lofty existence. If it weren't for your situation, I would definitely call the Dean immovable." Yu Dandan sighed helplessly. In the Holy Pill Courtyard, the hierarchy is high and it is ranked according to the alchemy level. Status. So it's like this. Chen Shang thought that with his alchemy, he would surely be able to win a high position in the Holy Pill Academy. "So, after I entered the Holy Pill Academy, how could Fu Yuya get me? I offended Fu Yuya?" Chen Shang asked in a low voice. Wang Tianwen is the Dean of the Rune Academy. Although he said that Fu Yuya is a fart, he can't believe what this guy is saying. Maybe he is bragging. Fu Yuya, is that the most outstanding disciple of Zijin Yuling in the War Academy? Yu Dandan frowned and said, how did you offend her? I don't know, maybe it's because I look ugly. Chen Shang shook his head. Anyway, many people say that I offend her, and I will be finished. Huh, a little Zijin Yuling disciple. How dare to be so arrogant? Wait until she becomes a king saint. As long as you don't step into the Holy King realm, the variables will be big. Yu Dandan said. Don't panic, we Holy Pill Dean, I must be able to cover you. Suddenly, Yu Dandan's messenger talisman lit up. After she received the message, she said excitedly, great, the Dean said that she will come soon. How long has the Dean of the Holy Pill Academy been in Dakan Gate? Chen Shang asked. I don't know. In short, he is a wandering casual cultivator, because the technique of alchemy is very outstanding. After entering the Holy Pill Academy, he was recommended by many Holy Pill Masters, and finally became the respected Dean. Yu Dandan said, he came to the Holy Pill Academy earlier than me. Chen Shang could only wait patiently, he was thinking about how to flick the Dean at that time. Will the Dean accept me as a disciple? Chen Shang was a little worried, and whispered, I already have a master, so I can't worship other people as a teacher. Since your master is gone, you don't need you anymore. It's okay to worship another one. If you have one more master, you can rely on more. I think the Dean will definitely not mind this matter. Yu Dandan smiled said, an excellent young alchemist like you, the Dean will definitely be very happy after seeing it. She has determined that Chen Shang will definitely be favored by Dean Shengdan. And because she was responsible for the assessment of Chen Shang, the Dean would also reward her, so meeting Chen Shang was also a chance for her. It didn't take long for Chen Shang to perceive a very powerful breath. It was a burly old man who came in. When Chen Shang saw this old man, he felt very familiar, and then he frantically searched through his mind for many years of dusty memories to find out who it was. I have seen the Dean. Yu Dandan hurriedly bowed and saluted. I don't even need this kind of etiquette. The old man smiled heartily, this little guy, is that young alchemist. When Yu Dandan saw Chen Shang standing there blankly, he didn't say much, only thinking that he was suppressed by the Dean's aura. President, this is the Shengli Yuandan refined by Master Shen, take a look. Yu Dandan quickly passed it. The Dean took a look, suddenly widened his eyes, and then said a little excited, Wang Pin. And it was refined within an hour. This is no longer a genius. I know who you are. Chen Shang finally dug out the memory of this old man from the depths of his mind, he was really an acquaintance. What? The Dean asked with some doubts. You are Du Hai. Chen Shang laughed and said, do you remember me? You, young Master Shen, what are you talking about? Yu Dandan hurriedly whispered. But the Dean was stunned. Because there are not many people who know his name, even if he becomes the Dean of the Holy Pill Academy, others only know his surname as Du. We know. Du Hai was also frowning, thinking about something, and then said to Dandan, Dandan, you go out first, let me talk to this little friend alone. Yu Dandan nodded, and then left the assessment hall. Grandpa Du, let's talk in another place. Chen Shang lowered his voice. I didn't expect you to be in the sanctuary. Who are you? Du Hai became more curious. Chen Shang took Du Hai into another room. Do you remember the name Du Yanyao? Chen Shang said with a smile in the room. Of course I remember, she is my granddaughter. Although I have not seen her in 100,000 years, I will never forget this name. Du Hai suddenly moistened his eyes and sighed, I don't know how she is now. So, is it still alive? Don't worry, she is still alive. Grandpa Du, this is Chen Shang, do you remember this name? Chen Shang asked again. Ah, you are Chen Shang. Du Hai was shocked and stared at Chen Shang with his mouth open. Du Yanyao is Chen Zhang's woman. He and Du Yanyao first met, and it happened that her grandfather Du Hai was poisoned. It was Chen Shang who helped Du Hai detoxify, so the two knew each other. It's just that Chen Zhang's appearance has changed a lot now, and he looks like a teenager again with dark spots on his face. So Du Hai didn't recognize Chen Shang for a while, but he would never forget the name of Chen Shang. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4165, Alchemy Changes. Du Hai is not in the top 10 worlds. He has been traveling abroad and has not been affected by the forgetting fate curse, so he still remembers Chen Zhang's. But he only knew that Chen Shang was a very strong alchemist, and he didn't know about Chen Shang being sealed or something. Not all of the old people whom Chen Shang knew were in the 10 great worlds, but Chen Shang was very pleased to meet Du Hai in sanctuary. Little Shen, what's your situation now? You shouldn't be that weak. And judging from your appearance, you are still a young man. Du Hai was also very happy to see Chen Shang. After all, he has been wandering alone for so many years. It is indeed very happy to see his deceased again and let him know the news of his granddaughter. I was victimized by a treacherous man and was sealed for 100,000 years. I have only recently broken through the seal. My body has long been destroyed, and today's body is a reshaped body of my soul. Chen Shang said. He didn't talk about the 6 fate of souls, but also worried that Du Hai had too much contact with this matter. Du Hai was obsessed with alchemy every day. He didn't know much about the outside world, and Chen Shang didn't want to disturb him. It turned out to be like this. So is Yan Yao okay now? Where is she? Du Hai asked. I have been asking someone to inquire about Yan Yao's whereabouts for many years, but there is no news. I thought she was. Yan Yao is fine, she is in Outshitnd, that is, in those 10 hells. Chen Shang said, I also came out of it. After a while, they should also be able to break through Outshitnd and come to the sanctuary. It turns out that she was in that place. No wonder I didn't have news about her. Du Hai was relieved a lot. After all, his granddaughter is still alive and he still has relatives. Grandpa Du, how long have you been to Dakan Gate? Chen Shang asked. It's been a long time, and I don't remember very much. I often stay closed for alchemy, and I don't know much about Dakun sect. Du Hai said. I am obsessed with alchemy now, and I have made great progress in alchemy, because with the emergence of Aoshi universe, great changes have also taken place in Dan Dao. He looked at the holy power yuan pill in his hand, which was refined by Chen Shang, and he sighed, Little Shen, you deserve to be, the pill that is refined is always so good. Chen Shang laughed a few times, maybe this is my talent. To be honest, after being sealed for 100,000 years, I don't know much about Dao Dan today, and I hope Grandpa Du can give some pointers. You kid, how can I point you? With your understanding and solid foundation, you can figure it out directly. Du Hai laughed at himself. Compared with you, my 100,000 years are worthless. Alive. Grandpa Du, there seem to be very few alchemists in the sanctuary. Chen Shang told Du Hai about the doubt in his heart. Sanctuary's alchemy is very fancy talent. It can only be said that the medicinal materials bred by this proud universe and the laws of various energy have undergone a great change. Du Hai sighed. I was also an alchemist before. And the cultivation level is extremely high, but because of the emergence of Aoshi universe, I have almost started from scratch. What kind of change has happened? Chen Shang was aware of it when he was in the 10 great worlds, but it was not so obvious. Medicinal materials repel each other. Almost every kind of medicinal material repels each other. The more medicinal materials are together, the stronger the rejection. Different medicinal powder and medicinal gas are more difficult to blend together perfectly. Du Hai said. When I was refining this sacred power essence pill, I noticed that the medicinal materials were mutually exclusive. I thought it was deliberately produced by the assessment. Chen Shang nodded. But, when I was refining the pill, I feel how difficult it is to condense pills. Xiao Shen, can you talk about the process of condensing pills? Du Hai asked quickly. Chen Shang briefly talked about the process, and Du Hai looked dumbfounded. Do you still use the previous practice? Du Hai asked in surprise. Yeah, what's the matter? Chen Shang was puzzled. The current method of refining requires that you first smelt each medicinal material into powder outside the pill furnace. When refining the powder, you need to inject a special liquid to lock the gas in the powder, and finally put it in. Add a kind of stone powder to condense pill. Afterwards, Du Hai told Chen Shang the process in detail. It's so complicated, Chen Shang said, I can still use the previous practice method. Why is this? This is talent, it may be your spiritual sense, and your body's energy, that can make medicinal materials feel compatible, so you can play with medicinal materials as you like. Du Hai was envious and smiled, this is fate. Chen Shang didn't figure it out himself, only knew that it might be related to the heaven refining technique. In the 100,000 years since he was sealed, the heaven refining technique has been improved many times by him, maybe only he could learn it, and he couldn't pass it on to others at all. Grandpa Du, I want to join the Holy Pill Academy now, do you welcome me? Chen Shang grinned and said, you have to cover me. Of course welcome, Du Hai was eager for Chen Shang to come to the Holy Pill Academy. He also planned to find time in the future to ask Chen Shang to give him advice on alchemy. By the way, don't talk to Senior Yu Dandan too much about me. Chen Shang whispered. About me, don't talk about me everywhere. No problem. Du Hai smiled and said, Xiao Shen, you just came to Dakan Gate not long ago. Have you caused trouble? Because in Du Hai's memory, Chen Shang was a very troublesome guy. No way, it's because some guys in Dakun sector looking for things on their own. Chen Shang said helplessly, I provoke a woman named Fu Yuya. Fu Yuya, from the Fu family. I also heard that this little girl is just a disciple of Zijin Yuling, and her status is not particularly high. If she becomes a saint of kings, it will be a little troublesome. Du Hai said. It's okay, let me enter the Sacred Pill Academy. I can settle her by myself in the future. Chen Shang laughed and said, Can I be a disciple of the Purple Jin Yuling in the Sacred Pill Academy? That's for sure. At your level, you can definitely become a disciple of the Zijin Jade Order, but this is not for nothing. You have to refine some pills every once in a while. This is a task given by the Holy Pill Academy. Du Hai with a smile, with your ability, the alchemy task should be easy. Okay, Chen Shang entered the Holy Pill Academy, also to find a tool man. And Du Hai is the dean of the Holy Pill Academy, and he can definitely help him a lot. Du Hai originally planned to bring Chen Shang back to the Holy Pill Academy, but Chen Shang wanted to find Ke Yumeng and Fu Yuanyuan, so he didn't go to the Holy Pill Academy for the time being. There is also the Zijin Yuling from the Rune Academy, he will also go there. Du Hai took Yu Dandan back to the Holy Pill Academy. She was responsible for assessing Chen Shang and also contacted him, so Du Hai wanted to reward Yu Dandan. Chen Shang did not ask Du Hai to help Ke Yuanfei, because Kunmin was already working on this matter. Ke Yumeng and Fu Yuanyuan looked relaxed when they saw Chen Shang coming out of the examination room, and they were not sure whether Chen Shang passed the examination because the time was too fast. They all heard that the time required for the alchemy assessment is longer than the rune assessment. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4166, Disciple Token. Rune is far less difficult than alchemy, and there are still many rune masters, such as Fu Yuanyuan who can become a young rune master is not uncommon. Young alchemists are very rare, and Fu Yuanyuan and Ke Yumeng have never seen them before. Brother Shen, have you passed the assessment? Ke Yumeng hurried forward and asked in a low voice. In fact, there are no people around here, only the examination hall of the War Academy is very lively, but Ke Yumeng is still worried that others will know that Chen Shang will participate in the alchemy examination, which will cause a lot of disturbance. Of course it passed. Chen Shang smiled. When I have time in the future, I will refine some pills for you. Really? That's great. Of course, Ke Yumeng believed in Chen Shang. But Fu Yuanyuan still couldn't believe it. When she signed up for Chen Shang before, she didn't know that if she failed the examination, Zijin Yuling would be withdrawn. When she learned about it later, she also felt a chill in her heart. She looks calmer on the surface now, but she is very worried. She is even ready to give up Zijin Yuling. Master Shen, have you really passed these two tests? Fu Yuya looked around and said, if you fail, my purple gold and jade order will be taken back. Here, Chen Shang threw the purple gold jade order to Fu Yuanyuan, and smiled, Yuanyuan, thank you for your recommendation this time, you need help in the future, just say it. Master Shen, you are really amazing. Fu Yuanyuan was stunned for a while before sighing with joy. Go, let's go back and talk about it. Chen Shang smiled. He planned to refine some pill to pay Yuanyuan as a thank you. For example, the Shengli Yuandan is a very commonly used pill. As long as there are medicinal materials, for Chen Shang, alchemy is as simple as drinking water. What's more, he now has a very bold idea, which is to create a pill furnace that can make alchemy by himself. At present, Aoshi Shenlu couldn't do it, because this pill furnace was too special for Chen Shang to transform it. If you use other pill furnaces, Chen Shang can do it, but he can only refine very simple holy pill. This process also requires the use of runes. Specifically, Chen Shang is still thinking about it. If it succeeds, when refining a simple holy pill, put the medicinal materials directly into the pill furnace, and the pill furnace can condense the pill by itself. His idea is only suitable for refining ordinary sacred pills. For those complicated ones, it is still very difficult to do at present, because that process requires his powerful soul to carry out very complicated and subtle manipulation. On the way back to Longlin Inn by Shen Shang and the others, Fu Yuya also sent someone to inquire about the news. In a courtyard, Fu Yuya stood under a big tree with her back facing a young man. Master Sister, according to the news I got from the Holy Pill Academy and Rune Academy, no new disciples have joined yet. The kid surnamed Shen has also left the examination room. He walked out of the examination room very early. A thin young man bowed his waist and reported the news to Fu Yuya. He wanted to take a look at Fu Yuya, but Fu Yuya always turned his back to him. Leave the exam room early, of course. How could he be able to practice runes and alchemy? The stubborn guy, Fu Yuan, the bitch, didn't know the new rules before, otherwise he wouldn't be stupid enough to recommend him to register for these two. An assessment. This little has lost the Zijin Yuling, let's see how she is arrogant in front of me. Fu Yuya sneered. Master Sister, her purple gold and jade order seems to have not been taken back. The people at the entrance of Longlin Inn, when they saw her coming back, there was a purple gold and jade order hanging on his waist. The young man said again. This is impossible. If Chen Shang fails the assessment, Zijin Yuling should be taken away. Fu Yuya frowned, as if thinking of something was wrong. What's wrong with this? Logically speaking, if he fails to pass an assessment, he should be taken away. If the Zijin Jade order is withdrawn, the next assessment will not be carried out. Yes, Chen Shang went to 2 examination halls and went to the rune test and the alchemy test respectively. This doesn't make sense. The young man also felt very strange. He came out of the rune test room and immediately went to the alchemy test. How long did he stay in the rune examination room? Fu Yuya asked. Less than an hour. Longer in the alchemy examination room, more than an hour. The young man said again. It must be the Rune Academy who is protecting Fu Yuan. This is breaking the door rules. Fu Yuya gritted her teeth and snorted. No, I have to go to the head teacher and ask him to take back Fu Yuan's purple gold jade order. Quote. Fu Yuan belongs to the Rune Academy, and she is still so young. With the old guy's temperament, the Rune Academy must have one eye closed. The young man nodded and said, Master Sister, must please teach me to uphold justice and never break the rules. Don't ask the teacher, I will go to the Rune Academy tomorrow. I will make a fuss myself and see how they end up. Fu Yuya sneered. I will gather all the Zijin Yuling disciples tonight and let them have a big tomorrow. Go to Rune Academy to gather early. Yes. The young man left immediately after speaking. Chen Shang returned to the most luxurious residence on the top floor of the Longlin Inn. Sitting on the spacious open-air balcony, he could see most of the bustling Dokumen market. He is eating at this moment. Fu Yuan was eating while thinking about her heart. She was very puzzled. Why didn't Chen Shang immediately get the disciple tokens from Rune Academy and Shungdan Academy? Chen Shang passed the examination, but there is no disciple token of Dakun sect yet, which is very strange. Of course, Fu Yuan didn't know that he would have to wait for a while to become a Zijin Yuling disciple directly. Chen Shang was alert to the original owner of the Holy Soul Puppet, but there has been no movement so far. It is very likely that the original owner was seriously injured and will not recover for a while. At night, Chen Shang received a message from Wang Tianming. Brother, when will you come to Rune Academy? I have prepared your purple gold jade. I will send it to you tonight. Wang Tianming smiled. Actually, I also want to visit Longlin Inn. On the top floor, I heard that the scenery there is exceptionally good. No, I'll pick it up early tomorrow morning. Old Wang, you are the dean of the decent Rune Academy. It would not be nice for you to come here in person. Chen Shang said, by the way, I will go to the Rune Academy tomorrow. Be low-key, you know. Don't shout at that time. I know. Wang Tianming laughed and said, would you like to reconsider living in the Rune Academy? I will prepare a lot of beautiful senior sisters for you. Go go go. Chen Shang was speechless, and then disconnected from the communication. Wang Tianming also wanted to ask whether Chen Shang passed the alchemy assessment, but Chen Shang was disconnected, and he didn't answer why he called Chen Shang. Fu Yuan and K Yumeng are still eating sacred fruit in the hall, and they send a lot of them every day. Yuan, I'm going to the Rune Academy tomorrow morning, do you know how to go? Chen Shang asked, take me over tomorrow morning, I'm going to get the disciple token. Okay. Fu Yuan also looked forward to Chen Shang joining the Rune Academy. After Chen Shang got the disciple token, he would be her junior. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4167, Witness. The top floor of Longlin Inn is very quiet at night. There is a barrier here to isolate the noisy sounds outside. This floor is enough for dozens of people to live in, but only Chen Shang, Fu Yuanyuan and Ke Yumeng, so it looks particularly deserted. Of course, the demon shadow spirit was also wandering around, but he was not a human being, and neither Fu Yuanyuan nor Ke Yumeng could see him. Chen Shang didn't go back to the room. He was eating the sacred fruit. Although he had eaten a lot for Sister Xiaojing, there were still a lot of sacred fruit here. Both Ke Yumeng and Fu Yuanyuan have gone back to their rooms to rest. At night, the fat shopkeeper contacted Chen Shang with a messenger. Master Shen, I have collected some news about you, I think you need to listen to it. And this is also the service provided by our Longlin Inn. The fat shopkeeper called. Oh, come up and talk to me in person. Chen Shang said. Soon, the fat shopkeeper was outside the door. Chen Shang opened the door and let him in. Master Shen, did you participate in the rune test and alchemy test today? The fat shopkeeper asked. Yes, what's the matter? Chen Shang asked. It was not a secret that he participated in these two assessments, because every disciple who participated in the assessment would make public announcements. Chen Shang participated in the two assessments alone, it is difficult to let people know. You didn't pass, did you? The fat shopkeeper asked again, he really thought Chen Shang couldn't pass it. Who said that? Chen Shang smiled. Huh, you passed. The fat shopkeeper was surprised. Of course, Chen Shang said with a smile, go in first. After the fat shopkeeper walked in, he said, according to the news from the outside, your stay in the two examination rooms is very short. That time is not enough to pass the examination. But I passed, I will go to Rune Academy tomorrow morning to receive the disciple token. Chen Shang threw a golden sacred fruit to the fat shopkeeper. Ah, you really passed. How did you pass the test in such a short time? The fat shopkeeper was shocked. He has also been in Dakin sect for a long time, and he knows the appraisal of Dakin sect disciples well. Few young disciples joined the Rune Academy and the Holy Pill Academy, especially the Holy Pill Academy, where there have been no new young disciples for many years. I have good talent. Chen Shang didn't say much. If he said that he was already the elder brother of the dean and the elders of the Rune Academy, the fat treasurer would probably not believe it. Okay, I just received a message. Tomorrow morning, Fu Yuya will gather a large number of Zijin Jade Order disciples to go to the Rune Academy to defeat the Dean Wang of the Rune Academy. Said the fat shopkeeper. Why crusade against Dean Wang? What happened to Dean Wang? Chen Shang was taken aback. He thought that Wang Tianwen might be helping him out of anger or something, and then went to teach Fu Yuya. Fu Yuya thinks that you have not passed the assessment. The Rune Academy should take away Fu Yuanyuan's purple gold jade order, but the Rune Academy confiscated it and broke the door rules, said the fat shopkeeper. Then why didn't she go to the Holy Pill Academy? Chen Shang shook his head and smiled. He didn't worry too much when he learned the ins and outs. She doesn't dare to go to the Holy Pill Academy. The fat shopkeeper smiled. Don't look at Fu Yuya being so crazy, but she is in awe of the Holy Pill Academy. I passed the assessment, and I will go to receive the disciple token tomorrow morning. Chen Shang smiled. This woman Fu Yuya is so self-righteous. Let's see how she ends up tomorrow. Then don't bother Master Shen to rest, said the fat shopkeeper. By the way, how did you find the female bodyguard for me? Chen Shang asked. It's working on it, a little progress. The fat shopkeeper smiled. Master Shen, just wait for good news. Good, Chen Shang nodded. After the fat shopkeeper left, Chen Shang immediately contacted Wang Tianwen. Pharaoh, Fu Yuya is going to the Rune Academy to make trouble tomorrow, have you heard the news? Chen Shang asked. Of course I know, Wang Tianwen said with a smile. That little girl, come tomorrow, let's see how I clean her. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Chen Shang was a little dissatisfied. Fart is a big deal, so I won't disturb you. Don't worry, I will take care of it tomorrow. Wang Tianwen said, Big brother, you must come tomorrow. Got it. Chen Shang always felt that something was wrong, but couldn't tell. Before dawn, Chen Shang woke up Fu Yuanyuan and Ke Yumeng. They didn't stop Fu Yuya from making trouble in the Rune Academy. After they woke up, Chen Shang told them immediately. This Fu Yuya is really ridiculous, is it just to deprive me of my Zijin Yuling? Fu Yuanyuan was very angry after hearing it. Let's go over now and see how she ends up. Chen Shang laughed. Fu Yuanyuan and Ke Yumeng both washed up quickly, and then went to the Rune Academy. When the fat shopkeeper learned that Chen Shang had left the Longlin Inn, he also sent someone to inquire about the news secretly. He wanted to figure out whether Chen Shang really passed the test. Rune Courtyard is on the top of a low mountain to the south of Dakan Gate. It is a small villa. It is not too big, but it is in a very high position. Chen Shang thought he would go before dawn, but he didn't expect that many people had already arrived here. The Zijin Yuling disciples gathered by Fu Yuya didn't dare to come later than Fu Yuya. They had to arrive at the Rune Academy before Fu Yuya came, so that they could be remembered by Fu Yuya. Zijin Yuling only has more than 100 disciples, which is not too many for Dakun sect. There are more than 70 male disciples and only 30 female disciples. Among the disciples of Zijin Yuling, Fu Yuya and Fu Yuanyuan are indeed outstanding. When they saw Chen Shang and Fu Yuanyuan coming, they didn't give them a good look. Fu Yuya is the chief disciple of Zijin Yuling, the head of this group of disciples, and the best and most background disciple. They are naturally on Fu Yuya's side. Fu Yuya seemed to have come a long time ago, but she hid it away. When she learned that Chen Shang, Fu Yuanyuan and Ke Yumeng had arrived, she came out immediately. Rune Courtyard is a mountain villa built on the top of the mountain, but it still has a large courtyard. More than 100 Zijin Yuling disciples stood on both sides of the courtyard. "Welcome to the big sister." A group of Zijin Yuling disciples, kneeling on one knee, shouted loudly. And there are hundreds of people in the Rune Academy, most of them are middle-aged and old people, and there are no young people. The disciples in the Rune Academy were very upset, because Zijinyu made the disciples too arrogant. When Wang Tianwen learned that Chen Shang had arrived, he immediately showed up. "President Wang, why didn't you take back Fu Yuanyuan's purple gold jade order?" Fu Yuya immediately shouted when Wang Tianwen appeared. "Why should I take it back?" Wang Tianwen sneered. "Little girl, I'm your elder anyway, don't you say hello when you see me." Fu Yuanyuan recommended Chen Shang to participate in the examination of the Rune Academy. Chen Shang failed, you should take Fu Yuanyuan's purple gold jade order. Fu Yuya looked at Fu Yuanyuan coldly and said, "Look at her waist in between, the purple gold and jade order is still hanging." "Who told you that Chen Shang failed the assessment?" Wang Tianwen laughed and said, "He not only passed, but he is also a disciple of Zijin Yuling from the Rune Academy. It happened that you came to witness the birth of my Rune Academy. The first disciple to directly obtain the Zijin Jade Order." World Defying Dan God Chapter 4168, Big Brother. When Wang Tianwen said this, not only the disciples present were greatly impacted, but even the other disciples of the Rune Academy were shocked and unbelievable. There are so many middle-aged and elderly disciples in the Rune Academy. They have been through it for a long time, but none of them can become disciples of Zijin Yuling. Even Fu Yuanyuan with a deep background can't mix with Zijin Yuling. And this black-spotted teenager, who was just getting the purple gold jade order, was just an entry test, which is simply incredible. Fu Yuya was stunned for a long time before she shouted, "Impossible. Dean Wang, don't send out the purple gold and jade orders indiscriminately. Why does this guy become a purple gold and jade order disciple of the Rune Academy? Do the other disciples of the Rune Academy agree? There have been no disciples of Zijin Yuling in the Rune Academy for many years. You can send it directly to a kid who just started. What does this make other disciples in the Rune Academy think? They will be chilling," a man echoed. Wang Tianwen glanced at the other Rune Academy disciples in the courtyard, and then said coldly, "Do you welcome this new disciple? Do you recognize that I gave him the purple gold and jade order?" There are hundreds of disciples in the Rune Academy. When they learned that Chen Shang was a disciple of Zijin Yuling, they were only shocked, but they did not show any dissatisfaction. Because they have been in the Rune Academy for so many years, they know what their dean is like. The deans and elders of the Rune Academy are very arrogant, and they will never issue purple gold and jade orders casually. Because there are many elders from Dakun sect's ancestor family who came to ask for a piece of purple gold and jade order many times, but they never succeeded. "Congratulations to the chief elder brother," a middle-aged man suddenly shouted. "Meet the chief elder brother." The other disciples of the Rune Academy also knelt down on one knee. And they all shouted very loudly, plus there were hundreds of people, so the momentum was even more shocking than when Fu Yuya appeared. Chen Shang was also taken aback. He didn't expect this Rune Academy to be trained so well by Wang Tianwen. These people are simply perfect tool people. Fu Yuanyuan was so startled that she couldn't speak. She knew that Chen Zhang's runes were of a very high level, otherwise she couldn't point out Kun Min, the ancestor. However, she never thought that Chen Shang could directly become a Zijin Yuling disciple of the Rune Academy. The disciples of the Rune Academy now possessing purple gold and jade orders are all at the elder level or instructor level. They are no longer considered at the disciple level. Therefore, Chen Shang is now in the Rune Academy. He is considered the chief disciple, because among the disciples, only Chen Shang has the purple gold jade order. Chen Shang was thinking about how he would respond to the bows of these disciples from the Rune Academy. If you are too polite, you don't have the arrogance that a rune master should have. If it is too arrogant, what is the difference between this and Fuyuya? Everyone, please, Chen Shang doesn't like this kind of etiquette. Our rune masters are not the ones who pay attention to this kind of red tape. There are only certain rats with sharp mouths and thick skins, who always like to do this. Chen Shang could only break a few words randomly, and then secretly taunted Fuyuya. All the disciples of the Rune Academy also got up one after another. They were quite satisfied with the chief senior brother, at least they were polite to them, and at the same time they had a strong arrogance. I'm not convinced, Fuyuya said angrily. President Wang, you don't take the power granted to you by Dakun sect too seriously. I want to ask the head teacher to come and ask you for an explanation. Fuyuya, if you have a seed, go to the Holy Pill Academy to make trouble. Chen Shang also passed the examination of the Holy Pill Academy and is a disciple of the Holy Pill Academy. Alchemy is much more difficult than drawing runes. If you are not satisfied, go to the Holy Pill Academy. Go, Wang Tianwen said with a sneer. Look, you don't have a seed to make trouble in the Holy Pill courtyard. Everyone was shocked again. It's fine to be a disciple of Zijin Yuling from the Rune Academy, but he is still a disciple of the Holy Pill Academy. Of course, even Wang Tianwen didn't know that Chen Shang was a disciple of the Zijin Jade Order of the Holy Pill Academy. The weight of the Zijin Jade Order was heavier than that of the Rune Academy. Fuyuya only feels that her worldview has collapsed. Does this black-spotted teenager really have such a talent? She suddenly remembered that Chen Shang had used a token to find Grandma Kun, but she was driven away. She began to suspect that Chen Shang was most likely from that place, otherwise it would be impossible to have this kind of talent. I don't believe it. There must be someone hiding it in secret. This undermines the fairness of the Dakin sect. I must ask the teacher to check it out. Fuyuya still doesn't think Chen Shang can pass the assessment of the two courtyards at the same time. Because of the identity of the young disciples of the two large courtyards, one of them is still Zijin Yuling, and that status is higher than that of her, the chief of the war courtyard. President Wang, we don't care what is going on in the Holy Pill Academy. After all, they didn't give Zijin Yuling. You give Chen Shang Zijin Yuling, then you have to convince everyone. A young man who followed Fuyuya, also I don't believe it, yelling. Which green onion is your shit? You ask me to prove that I have to prove it to you. Besides, the disciples of my Rune Academy can approve it. Why do you want your to approve? When, if you don't understand, just shut up for Lao Su. Wang Tianwen shouted. Yes, these little chickens in your battle courtyard, don't have the magic weapon of runes provided by our Rune Academy, are you still a fart? Why come to us and yell? Just your attitude, next time you come to receive the rune when tattooing the magic weapon, wait patiently. Yes, they have detained their rune magic weapon for a few months to see how they jump. A bunch of shit, dare to ride on our heads and shout. How dare they? This kind of fart-like thing is a group of parasites, nothing except being arrogant all day long. If you don't understand runes, just be low-key and humble, and even question our dean's approval. Are you worthy? The disciples of the Rune Academy couldn't sit still, and fought back one after another, and began to mock the Zijin Yuling of the War Academy. Fuyuya was a little startled, because she found that she really angered the Rune Academy. What's the matter? It's noisy, your Rune Courtyard and the Battle Courtyard are about to fight, right? Suddenly a voice came from a distance. Hearing this voice, Fuyuya smiled with joy and shouted, the master is here. Great, the head teacher will definitely expose the gloom of the Rune Academy. It will see how you end up. The disciple of the war court sneered, fools of the Rune Academy, you will soon understand, your hospital what kind of idiot did you take? Are you looking for death? An old man in the Rune Academy was furious, and threw a talisman directly, blasting out the war court disciple who had just spoken. Chen Shang glanced at the old man. It was the elder who participated in the assessment that day, and he was considered his younger brother. You dare to do it? You're done. Fuyuya was also very angry. This Rune Academy was too arrogant, but she did not dare to fight back because it was the site of the Rune Academy. Chen Shang was secretly shocked. He didn't expect the people from the Rune Academy to be so stubborn and the head teacher would be coming, so he was not afraid at all and started to do it. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4169, Master Dakin. Chen Shang is now seeing the terrifying place of the Rune Academy, and he really doesn't pay attention to the War Academy at all. An elder in the Rune Academy suddenly took action against a junior in the War Academy, which would surely anger the elders in the entire War Academy. However, the Rune Academy was not afraid at all. After the elder wounded the young man with the sacred amulet, he still ridiculed it. Fu Yuya, the group of Zijin Yuling disciples in the war courtyard, scolded them again and then retreated to the edge of the courtyard, staying away from the people in the Rune courtyard, worried that they would continue to take action. Fu Yuanyuan and Ke Yumeng had never seen this kind of battle. They were worried that they would fight, so they could only get close to Chen Shang, seeking a sense of security. Fuan Academy, you are really lawless, dare to do it to us. Fu Yuya was really angry, but helpless, they couldn't beat the Rune Academy. This is the site of the Rune Academy. The Rune Academy can easily destroy them by opening various killing arrays. Master Dakin also arrived in time. He was a tall old man with long white hair draped around his waist, a pair of long white eyebrows hanging down, and the eyes under his long eyebrows were very deep. At a glance, he knew that this head Dakin was a very strong soul. As for what cultivation base he was, no one knew yet. To Chen Zhang's surprise, this Dakun head teacher may be close to Kun Min. You know, Kun Min is a very old ancestor. Master Dakin was just a junior in front of her, but his cultivation was close to her, indicating that his talent was very good. Of course, in the sanctuary, the strongest strength is mainly reflected in the soul. Chen Shang couldn't judge how strong their souls were, only that they were of a very high level in the sanctuary. Moreover, people with cultivation bases like Master Dakun will deliberately hide the strength of their souls, which can reduce stress. Otherwise, the young people here cannot withstand the pressure of his soul. Meet the head teacher. The disciples of the war courtyard all knelt on one knee. The people in the Rune Academy just bowed slightly to Master Dakin, and did not kneel on one knee. Master Dakin waved his hand, causing all the disciples in the war courtyard to get up. I said, Lao Wang, they are all little ghosts. Headmaster Dakin looked at Wang Tianwen, shook his head and smiled. You are really messing up, please apologize to others. I'm a shit, Wang Tianwen said uncomfortably. These little have no respectable eyes, come to my Rune Academy to pick things up, and they also speak bad words to my Rune Academy disciples. I didn't hang them up and beat them. It's already very restrained. Wang Tianwen also didn't give the head teacher a good look. It can be seen that the Rune Master is the status, and it is still more important in the Dakun sect. Yuya, what the is going on? Head teacher Dakin carried his hands on his back, did not look at Fu Yuya, and his tone was rather severe. Uncle Tai, Fu Yuya just said 3 words, but she was interrupted by the head of Dakun. Call me head teacher. Dakin head teacher frowned. Yes, master. Fu Yuya bit her lip, and then began to talk about what happened. After listening, Master Dakin was also very interested in watching Chen Shang, because Rune Academy directly gave a new disciple Zijin Yuling, which was really strange. Lao Fu, since the establishment of the Rune Academy, the dean has the final say, right? Even you don't have the right to interfere. This is the rule of the Dakun sect. Wang Tianwen said. That's not bad. Headmaster Dakin nodded. Chen Shang understood now that Fu Yuya's ancestor was originally the head teacher of Dakun sect. In this way, the Fu family is a big force in the Dakun sect. That's it, you don't even have the right to interfere. Where does this little girl have the courage to come here to find trouble? Wang Tianwen was also very angry now, and then kept talking about Fu Yuya's attitude when she came here. Master, Chen Zhang's origin is unknown. I'm just worried that he was inserted in the Temple of Heaven or Wushan Temple. Fu Yuya quickly explained, because she could see that Master Dakin was a little angry. It's not that he is of unknown origin. It was Ke Yuanfei who brought him into Dakin Gate. Lao Fu, don't you know that Ke Yuanfei was imprisoned for injustice? His ex-wife punished the elders and got him in because of some unknown evidence. Wang Tianwen said. About this matter, I'm already investigating it. Headmaster Dakin nodded and said, since Lao Ke introduced it, it must be fine. Kei Yumeng was happy in her heart, because Headmaster Dakun had paid attention to this matter, indicating that Granny Kunmin had commissioned it. Isn't that all right? This little girl made such a fuss, so majestic. I thought it was you who made her come to me. Wang Tianwen became more and more angry, blowing his beard. Nothing. I will punish them. Besides, you did it just now, and your anger is gone, right? That's even. Master Dakun laughed. Fuck you. Let them apologize to us, otherwise they don't even want to walk out of the Rune Academy. Wang Tianwen finished speaking, took out a disc, and shouted, Old payment, I will open the Rune Academy. Even you can't hold it for long. Seeing Wang Tianwen's posture, you know that he is serious. The Chang'an Fire and Thunder Array, that is the powerful killing array that Dakan Gate is famous for, covering the entire Dakan Gate and protecting it for many years. And in the Rune Academy, there is also a small universe fire thunder killing array. If it were to be truly opened, the disciples of the War Court might be able to survive, but it is hard to say whether it is complete. Yuya, this is your fault. Apologize. After Master Dakan finished speaking, he came to Wang Tianwen, and then looked at Fu Yuya and the others, obviously not on their side. Fu Yuya now feels very wronged, but has to apologize. Kneel down and apologize. Wang Tianwen added again. Fu Yuya could only take the lead and knelt on her knees, and then bowed her head to apologize to Wang Tianwen. The other disciples of the war courtyard also knelt down. Pharaoh, are you satisfied now? Headmaster Dakan said with a smile. This is going to pass. Okay. Wang Tianwen was also relieved, and then asked, are those guys here? It's here, I have arranged for people to bring them here. Headmaster Dakan suddenly said with a serious face, Wushan Shrine is here this time, you can't take it lightly. Knowing that Wushan Temple is coming, the disciples present, whether it is the Rune Academy or the Battle Academy, looked at each other and whispered. Are they here for us to compete? Asked an elder from the Rune Academy. Yes. The last time they came, they defeated the young people of the Rune Academy. This time they came for the young people of your Rune Academy. After Master Dakun said, he looked at the people in the Rune Academy. Said, you don't seem to have young faces. Isn't this? Wang Tianwen pointed at Chen Shang and said with a smile, Xiao Shen, take the purple gold and jade order. Wait a minute and let Wushan Divine Palace see how we are. Last night, Wang Tianwen asked Chen Shang to come this morning. Chen Shang felt weird at the time, and sure enough, something was waiting for him. Do you like this site? Donate here. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4170, Getting Started. From what Master Dakan said just now, I can also hear that the battle courtyard was defeated by Wushan Shrine before. The battle yard is responsible for fighting, and it is a shame to not be able to beat Wushan Shrine in fighting. No wonder Rune Academy looked down upon the Zijin Yuling disciple of the War Academy so much. Old Wang, he has just entered my Dakan sect and has just become a disciple of the Rune Academy. Although he has been given a purple gold and jade order, this does not seem to represent our Dakan sect. Headmaster Dakan frowned. Yes, whether it is to compete with the temples of the heavens, the Wushan temple, or other sects, what we want to show is how good the inheritance of the Dakan sect is. A female disciple of the war courtyard shouted, who knows not long after Chen Shang entered the Dakan gate, he could not represent us at the Dakan gate. Chen Shang looked at this female disciple carefully. She was not a disciple of Zijin Yuling, but Kei Chodong, who was Kei Yumeng's evil sister. Old Wang, let Xiao Shen go, this seems inappropriate. And in the competition, we have to use the runes of our Dakun sect. He only came to receive the disciple token today. How could he have learned our Dakun sect? Deep runes, Master Dakun said in a low voice. Lao Fu, you don't know this. Xiao Shen's master has a lot of background, and has some connections with Grandma Kun. So the rune pattern that Xiao Shen learned is also from Dakun sect. Wang Tianwen said. He didn't talk nonsense, because he really thought so. Hearing what Wang Tianwen said, Fu Yuya was stunned. Because Chen Shang did take a token to enter Kunzu Villa to find Kun Min before, but she was blocked by her, and they also became enemies at that time. Knowing that Chen Shang really had a background, Fu Yuya was a little worried. Although she could enter the Kunzu Mountain Villa, she could be regarded as the apprentice of Grandma Kunzu, but Grandma Kunzu had been missing for a long time, and she rarely gave her advice. And everyone knows that the Kunzu grandmother of Dakun sect is best at runes. Only when she gets the rune inheritance of Kunzu grandma, can she be regarded as Kunzu's successor. Hearing Wang Tianwen's words, Master Dakin was shocked and looked at Chen Shang carefully again. Xiao Shen, take a look. Wang Tianwen walked up to Chen Shang, handed him a booklet, and whispered, wait later, I will use the runes on it, you know. What kind of asterisk is this? Chen Shang flipped over casually and whispered, Dean, can I use my own? Although they were talking in a low voice, everyone who was present heard his words. The important rune inheritance given by Wang Tianwen was actually, what kind of garbage, in Shen Zhang's eyes. Wang Tianwen was also a little surprised. His own things were actually underestimated, but he also thought it was normal. After all, Chen Shang was his elder brother. His understanding of runes is super high, and he has initially dabbled in the runes of God's domain. The realm is really not comparable to him. Well, you have to let Wushan Divine Palace see that it is the rune of my Dakin sect. Wang Tianwen said. Yes. Chen Shang nodded, and then said, if I defeat the rune master of Wushan Temple, I must give me some benefits, right? This will definitely happen, Wang Tianwen said with a smile. As long as you win, you can say anything. Xiao Shen, I don't know what your master's surname is. What does it have to do with Kunzu Grandma? Headmaster Dakin couldn't suppress the curiosity in his heart, and asked quickly. I don't know, I was adopted by master since I was a child. After the master took me out of the mountain, he entrusted me to Uncle K. Chen Shang said, he has always said this. Lao Fu, Xiao Shen is still a disciple of the Holy Pill Academy. I heard that during his assessment, even the elder Du of the Holy Pill Academy went to see him, hee. Wang Tianwen secretly transmitted to Dakin to teach sound transmission. This shocked Master Dakun again, a little unbelievable. After all, letting Dean Shengdan be dispatched, it shows that he is really capable and has a lot of background. Fu Yuya saw Chen Shang more uncomfortable, always feeling that Chen Shang had robbed her of all the limelight. So she wished that Chen Shang would lose miserably in waiting. It didn't take long for the people from Wushan Shrine to arrive. There were dozens of people in total. The elderly accounted for the majority in appearance and only a few young people. The old man who came in first came in and saw Fu Yuya and the group of war court disciples, and sneered, aren't these the guys who lost to us last time? Why are they here? Do you want to lose again? This annoyed the disciples of the war court, but they didn't dare to say anything. They really lost it last time. Li Lingfei, don't talk nonsense, what have you brought to challenge our Rune Academy this time? Nothing good, our Rune Academy won't fight and waste energy. As soon as Wang Tianwen came up, he went straight to the point. In the southern part of Kanglan Prefecture, there are 100 unmined DZI bead mines. If I lose, I will give you all. Your Rune Academy must also come up with the same conditions. Li Lingfei of Wushan Divine Palace made everyone present as soon as he spoke. The face changed drastically. Even Wang Tianwen seemed to be a little overwhelmed. Ha ha ha, are you scared? Don't you dare to follow. Li Lingfei laughed. The people in Wushan Temple also sneered and looked at the disciples of Dakun sect. Why not dare, let me follow. Wang Tianwen shouted immediately. Pharaoh, this. Headmaster Dakin felt it was necessary to discuss it. It's okay, if you lose, I count in my Rune Academy. My Rune Academy has hundreds of mines, we can afford it. Wang Tianwen was very proud, because he believed in Chen Shang, he had seen Chen Zhang's runes, that level was very strong. Okay, let's sign the contract first. Li Lingfei smiled. Dean Wang, I don't know where your self-confidence comes from. But I really hope you can win, so that we can also destroy the aura of our proud disciples in Wushan Temple. Quote. It will be what you want. Wang Tianwen also laughed. After signing the contract, everyone watched in silence, afraid to speak. The last time you lost 10 mines in the battle yard, it is not painful to you. If you lose 100 mines, it will be very painful. Li Lingfei smiled. For our Wushan Temple, this is not the case. It doesn't matter. Don't worry, we will definitely win, you don't have to worry about us. Wang Tianwen snorted. Okay, let's start. As usual, check the age first. Li Lingfei took out a disc of testing equipment. Wang Tianwen pushed Shen Shang out. Oh, I'm a disciple of Zijin Yuling, he looks quite young. Li Lingfei saw the Zijin Yuling on Chen Zhang's waist, but was not surprised but rather contemptuous. After Chen Shang checked his age, he was 14 years old. This age is also very surprising, only 14 years old, master runes. Dare to compete with Wushan Shrine. When Chen Shang was in Aoshitiandi, he also tested it once before. He was also 14 years old. It has been a long time since that time, but he is still 14 years old, and his age test seems to always be 14 years old. We just learned the news that this disciple has just entered Dakun sect. Suddenly a middle-aged man in Wushan temple said. It's okay. The runes he used are from our Dakun sect. You will definitely recognize it. Wang Tianwen waved his hand and smiled. He is a disciple cultivated by our Dakun sect in secret, and he is absolutely original. Dokumen Rune Master. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4171, Kunlei Holy Shield Talisman. When Chen Shang was pushed out to compete with others, he felt a little uncomfortable. He only felt that he was clearly arranged by Wang Tianwen. This old boy, on the surface, shouted from the big brother, but his routine was so deep. It seemed that he had planned how to let him go out to compete with others, and then win honor for the Rune Academy. Chen Shang is not a vegetarian, and he has a great appetite. After winning the competition, next time you want to let him go, then you have to talk about it. Only 14 years old, where can a genius come? Li Lingfei of Wushan Shrine sneered disdainfully. You ancestors of Dakun sect, who haven't come up for so many years, you just believe those ancestors' level. Because according to Wang Tianwen, Chen Shang was a genius disciple cultivated secretly by the ancestor of Dakun sect. But those ancestors haven't heard from them for many years, and I don't know how they are doing. Li Lingfei's remarks are also saying that Wang Tianwen and the others may have been cheated by those ancestors. You don't need to worry about it. Who are you sending out? Wang Tianwen had seen Chen Zhang's level with his own eyes, so he was extremely calm. Zhang Feng, come on. Li Lingfei said to a young man. Elder, I'm afraid this is not good. I am among the younger generation, but rune technique is the bottom. Zhang Feng said. What are you humble? Even if you are the bottom, your rune technique is far better than the old guys in the Rune Academy. Li Lingfei laughed and said, come on, test their age. Wang Tianwen took out the age detecting equipment and tested it. Li Lingfei is 28 years old, and he is twice as old as Chen Shang. Although runes also depend on talent, experience is also very important. Li Lingfei is 28 years old and far older than Chen Shang, which means that he has more time to study and comprehend runes. He has drawn a lot of runes and spent far more time on them than Chen Shang. So even if the talent is a bit short, but there is an age advantage, so the odds of winning are very big. The people in Wushan Temple were not optimistic about Chen Shang, even the disciples of Dakun sect, many felt that Chen Shang could not win. How to compare? Chen Shang asked in a low voice. Don't you even know how to compare? Zhang Feng sneered. Although this Zhang Feng looks plain, his eyes are very sharp. Generally speaking, he looks at his eyes if he is a master of runes. I really don't know. Chen Shang shook his head. This caused a burst of laughter from the Wushan temple. Then I'll tell you, each one will make a talisman. Both sides choose attack or defense talisman respectively. After they are made, the elders of both parties will check to ensure that the rune of this talisman comes from their sect. After the inspection is completed, the refined talisman will be used to fight. Once the attack talisman breaks the defense of the defensive talisman, it is considered a victory. If the defensive talisman can block the attack of the attack talisman, it is considered as the defensive talisman win. Zhang Feng also explained it patiently. I know now, thank you. Chen Shang nodded. You are young, I will let you choose offense or defense first. Zhang Feng was very confident at the moment. I choose to attack, Chen Shang said. Seeing Chen Zhang's choice, everyone in Wushan Temple laughed. Old Wang, does this young man understand the runes of your Dakun Gate? He chose to attack. Everyone knows that your Dakun Gate's runes are built for defense, it's a famous turtle rune. Faction. Li Lingfei laughed. Master Dakun also glanced at Wang Tianwen, secretly worried for Wang Tianwen, because once Chen Shang lost, Rune Academy would lose 100 mines, which was a huge loss. Huh, I'm really insulting myself. Fu Yuya sneered. I don't know the direction of the runes of Dakun sect, and I actually became a disciple of the Zijin Yuling of the Rune Academy. As soon as she finished speaking, Wang Tianwen glared at her. Let's start drawing symbols now. Only half an hour. Li Lingfei shouted. Start. The talisman drawing tools used are also the same, and the talisman paper and pen of the two are exactly the same, which can prevent cheating. Because of the making of the sacred talisman, the pen and the talisman paper have a great influence on the power of the sacred talisman. After the start, Zhang Feng immediately painted the talisman. He painted the talisman very slowly and was very concentrated. He only felt that the talisman pen in his hand seemed to be heavy, but it was tightly held by him. When everyone saw that he was writing very steadily, and the infusion of Dao Yuan Sheng power was very smooth, they all nodded and praised. Even the disciples who don't understand runes are all infected by Zhang Feng's serious attitude at this moment, and they all cast their respectful eyes on Zhang Feng. And what is Chen Shang doing? He was flipping through the booklet Wang Tianwen had just given, and he seemed to be learning the runes of Dakun sect. In his eyes, these runes are rubbish, but they must be used, so he has no choice but to make improvements on the spot. After the improvement, it is very difficult for Wushan Temple to recognize the rune of Dakun sect. Seeing Chen Shang still holding the rune booklet, the people at Wushan Temple laughed again and again. Does this guy understand? It is estimated that Wang Tianwen was fooled by their ancestors of Dakan sect. This ugly boy is a silly boy. Yeah, I knew it was an idiot at first glance. I think he can't even draw a chicken and eat rice, let alone deep runes. Hearing the sneer from the Wushan Temple, the disciples on the Rune Academy were very upset, but they couldn't say anything. Because Chen Zhang's current performance really just doesn't understand runes. Master Dakan became more worried, and looked at Wang Tianwen with reproachful eyes, shook his head, and whispered, "Sloppy." Wang Tianwen looked calm, and the other 8 elders were equally calm, because they had all seen Chen Zhang's rune technique. They believe in what they have seen with their own eyes, so they have full confidence in Chen Shang. Chen Shang had already improved a rune of Dakun sect in his mind, and that rune was of defensive type. After being released, the sacred talisman can transform into a lightning shield, which can block most attacks. And what Chen Shang had to do was an attacking sacred talisman. After he improved and adjusted some runes, this talisman was also a shield, but the energy of the shield could be released and even exploded. Kun Lei Sacred Shield Talisman. This is the name that Chen Shang learned from that booklet. He is finally about to start drawing symbols, but a lot of time has passed. He has no time. For such a little time, even old guys like us can't draw it. Li Lingfei sighed, we won like this. There is no challenge at all. It is really disappointing. This is for us. Disciple, there is no pressure at all. Seeing Li Lingfei's pretense, Wang Tianwen wanted to rush to beat him. Suddenly, the moment Chen Shang grabbed the talisman pen, the palm of his hand flashed with lightning, and the tip of the pen jumped with lightning. It's going to begin. Wang Tianwen clenched his fists, seemingly excited. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4172, Wu Tian Dan. Seeing the sudden movement of Chen Shang holding the pen, everyone on the scene was shocked. And everyone seems to see that the talisman Chen Shang wants to draw must have lightning energy. What kind of symbol to draw? Use the Dao Yuan sacred power of the corresponding attribute, which can indeed enhance the power of the sacred symbol. However, it is difficult to fully grasp the sacred power of the Dao Yuan with all attributes, so when drawing runes, how many will be restricted? But Chen Shang was not restricted. The heavenly Dao seed he possessed could be transformed into Dao Yuan holy power of any attribute, and it was also very powerful. This rune paper is too weak to withstand such a strong Dao Yuan sacred power. Wang Tianwen suddenly shouted, Xiao Shen, you can hold it a little bit. You can only use a rune paper for the test. If it breaks, I lost. This is not a problem for Chen Shang. When he used to make alchemy, he used very medicinal materials to make good alchemy. And his method is to improve the quality of the medicinal materials. Before refining alchemy, first refine medicinal materials. Now his thinking is the same. Before drawing the talisman, first refine the talisman paper. So now he is not drawing runes, but using the tip of a rune pen to quickly draw vertical lines on the rune paper. The thunder and lightning vertical lines were very dense, covering the whole piece of talisman paper. After drawing, he drew horizontal lines again. In this way, this rune paper looks like a rune paper woven from thunder and lightning threads. Did he use Daoyuan Shengli to make a piece of talisman paper? Wang Tianwen exclaimed, wonderful. The people in the Rune Academy saw it, and they were all amazed. Although it seemed very simple, they just kept drawing vertical lines as Daoyuan Shengli, and finally drawing horizontal lines. But letting these straight threads weave together and not spread apart requires a lot of control. The silk thread released by the talisman has the power of soul, and it is necessary to have strong control in this aspect to allow the silk thread to gather itself. Of course, it is more difficult to draw runes on these silk threads. Another point is that Chen Zhang's drawing speed was very fast, but everyone thought it was just a simple horizontal and vertical line, so it was normal quickly. However, the speed at which Chen Shang draws the runes is staggering. It's almost as if it's talking horizontally and vertically. Just brush a few strokes, and the tip of the pen flashes quickly like lightning. In a moment, he drew a talisman, and lightning flashed. The talisman on the opposite side of Zhang Feng, although it was drawn on golden talisman paper, looked far inferior to Chen Zhang's. The elders on the side of Wushan Temple suddenly looked very solemn. They are all knowledgeable, naturally knowing that Chen Zhang's hands were very powerful just now, and Chen Shang is indeed a genius. Especially the idea of transforming talisman paper, this is what they never thought of. Fu Yuanyuan has long known that Chen Zhang's rune technique is extremely terrifying, but now that he has seen it with his own eyes, he can understand why Chen Shang can directly obtain the purple gold jade order from the Rune Academy. At this moment, all the disciples of the Rune Academy recognized this chief master even more. Even Master Dakin felt that he had taken a look before, and he was indeed a rune genius. Wang Tianwen was the most excited, because many people were full of doubts about him, and now Chen Zhang's performance can suppress all the doubts. But Fu Yuya's face gradually became gloomy. She also knew that Chen Shang was very talented. He is indeed qualified to be a disciple of the Zijin Yuling in the Rune Academy. She was very upset at the moment, very jealous, and full of resentment towards Chen Shang. This is my improved Kunlei Sacred Shield Talisman. Chen Shang placed this sacred talisman on the table and said with a smile, it can be attacked or defended. Everyone was amazed now, knowing that he was reading the rune booklet just now, not to learn on the spot, but to improve on the spot. Wang Tianwen immediately took a few elders over to prevent Wushan Temple from making hands and feet during their inspection. Zhang Feng was under great pressure at the moment, because he had never faced such an offensive and defensible shield attack. Moreover, this talisman was temporarily transformed, and I don't know what its power and characteristics are. Li Lingfei brought a few elders over. They could not touch or release their spiritual consciousness. They could only judge by the runes on the surface, whether this was the rune of Dakun sect. No problem, right? Wang Tianwen smiled triumphantly. It is indeed the foundation of the Kunlei Sacred Shield Talisman. Li Lingfei and the others couldn't fault it. You come and check us. No need. Wang Tianwen said with a smile, even if you play tricks, we can still beat you. Wang Tianwen is very confident, but Li Lingfei and the others are very upset now. Don't be proud, this kind of temporary reformed talisman will definitely have many flaws. It looks powerful, but it may not be powerful. Li Lingfei sneered. No, who knows the power? Let's check it out then. Wang Tianwen smiled, then the elders of both sides backed away. Zhang Feng first unlocked his sacred talisman. The sacred talisman hovered over his head, and then projected a translucent golden bell, covering him. Golden Bell Sacred Talisman, Second Order Sacred Talisman. Master Dakin taught. At a young age, it is not easy to make a second order sacred talisman in half an hour. Of course, your Kunlei Sacred Shield Talisman is only a Tier 1 sacred talisman. Li Lingfei recovered a little confidence. Come and attack, Zhang Feng shouted. Chen Shang immediately released the sacred talisman in his hand. With a shout, the sacred talisman exploded and turned into a huge blue lightning shield and rushed past. This shield is like a huge mountain, rushing like thunder. This momentum alone is scary. Boom, the lightning shield slammed into the past, flashing a burst of violent lightning. Zhang Feng's golden bell was instantly defeated, but fortunately he had a lot of defensive weapons, and at this moment, he released energy to protect him. However, he was still shocked by the violent energy and hit the wall of the Rune Academy, very embarrassed. The scene suddenly uttered jubilant shouts, and the disciples of the Rune Academy were very happy. We won, Wang Tianwen laughed. This kind of power is already the third order sacred talisman, right? Headmaster Dakin exclaimed, but his face was full of smiles. We finally defeated Wushan Shrine. Someone shouted. Chen Shang didn't know why everyone was so happy, he was just smiling. In fact, Dakun sect has been bullied by Wushan Shrine for a long time, and rarely won. Brother Shen is really amazing. Kei Yumeng admired Chen Shang very much at the moment. Yeah, Fu Yuanyuan was also very happy and nodded. She now fully understands why Kunmin's mother-in-law attaches so much importance to Chen Shang. You lost, Wang Tianwen said with a smile. Will you continue to compare? Come on, go on. Humph, we will definitely win you next time. Li Lingfei finished speaking, and then looked at Chen Shang. he really didn't expect that Dakun sect had such a genius. Li Lingfei threw it to Wang Tianwen. There were 100 tokens in it, which were proof of ownership of 100 mines. The mine that we lost in the Rune Academy will definitely win back from your Holy Pill Academy. Li Lingfei said. Our Wushan Pill Academy should already be on the way to the Holy Pill Academy. Let's pass. Cheer them up. Really? Then let's check it out. Wang Tianwen said with a haha smile. Xiao Shen, go. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4173, Double Purple Gold. Chen Shang was also a disciple of the Holy Pill Academy, and also a disciple of Zijin Yuling. In terms of friendship, Chen Shang has a better relationship with the Dean of the Holy Pill Academy. After all, he is Du Yanyao's grandfather and an old acquaintance. Although Wang Tianwen worshipped Chen Shang as his eldest brother, he hadn't known him for a long time, and Du Haina could be said to be his family. So if the Holy Pill Academy needs help, Chen Shang will definitely help. Master Dakan also hurried to the Holy Pill Academy. Chen Shang and the others also went with Wang Tianwen and others. Fu Yuya knew that Chen Shang was a disciple of the Holy Pill Court, and at this moment she did not dare to doubt Chen Shang. After all, Chen Shang just defeated Zhang Feng in Wushan Temple. Although Fu Yuya hated Chen Shang very much, she was very curious about Chen Zhang's alchemy. Not only Fu Yuya, but anyone who learned that Chen Shang passed the examination of the Holy Pill Academy wanted to know whether Chen Zhang's alchemy technique could be equal to his rune technique. The Holy Pill Academy is in Dakun sect, it is a transcendent existence. Since ancient times, the forces of the various factions within the Dakun sect have not been able to penetrate into the Holy Pill Academy. Mainly because, to enter the Holy Pill Academy, you need real skills. Alchemists who can make alchemy don't need to look at the faces of the various factions, but all parties need to look at the faces of the Holy Pill Academy. Although the Rune Academy also has a considerable status, Fu Yuya still dared to make trouble, which shows that the status of the Rune Academy is far inferior to that of the Holy Pill Academy. The Holy Pill Court is not too far from the Rune Court, but the Holy Pill Court is on the flat ground, unlike the Rune Court on the top of the mountain. The Holy Pill Courtyard is very large, and its location is also the place with the strongest spirit. The reason why it occupies a large area is mainly because it has to grow various medicinal materials. Those medicine fields are important places, and the only place that people can enter is the cold yard. The yard is very cold, but it is also very spacious. The middle of the yard is so empty that it can be compared to a large square. There are a dozen of them in Wushan Divine Palace's Wushan Pill Academy, all of whom are alchemists, as well as young alchemists. For alchemists, a dozen or so can come, which is a big show, they have already arrived here. After Chen Shang came in, he looked around, but didn't see Du Hai. He also remembered what Yu Dandan said before that Du Hai rarely showed up, and even on this occasion, he did not show up. Soon, Chen Shang saw Yu Dandan. Yu Dandan was very happy to see Chen Shang. In her eyes, Chen Shang seemed to be the future heir of the Holy Pill Academy. Because it was Du Hai who contacted Yu Dandan, that Du Hai and Chen Shang reunited, Du Hai gave her a lot of rewards, which caused her status to be improved a lot, and now she has become an elder of the Holy Pill Academy. With regard to Yu Dandan becoming an elder, the Holy Pill Academy has also notified the other elders of the Dakun sect and issued an announcement to the entire Dakun sect. But Yu Dandan was wearing a white robe, and comparing her with other alchemists, she knew her status was different. There was also a purple gold jade order hanging from her waist. At her age, with a purple gold jade order, it would be equivalent to an elder of the Holy Pill Academy. Therefore, whether it is from the Rune Academy or the Battle Academy, after entering the Holy Pill Academy, when they see Yu Dandan, everyone except the head teacher must go to salute. Even Wang Tianwen had to go over and say hello, and then say congratulations on being promoted to elder or something. Chen Shang originally had to follow the other disciples to salute, but when Yu Dandan saw it, he hurriedly shouted, "Xiao Shen, you are welcome. You are a disciple of our Shungdan Academy, you don't need this kind of etiquette." After speaking, Yu Dandan walked over happily and took Chen Zhang's hand. Seeing this old grandma's attitude towards Chen Shang, it was like pampering her grandson. Fu Yuya, Kei Chodong and others were itchy with jealousy. Being so cared by the elder of the Holy Pill Academy means that there can be endless pill. Other disciples, who want to come here to ask for a pill, they need to contribute to the Dakan sect before they can receive the Holy Pill. And because Chen Shang received such care from the elders, he didn't need any contribution at all, just ask the elders to refine him. Chen Shang passed the examination of the Holy Pill Academy. This was known to the disciples of the War Academy and Rune Academy. Some people still had doubts about Chen Zhang's alchemy. However, seeing Yu Dandan being so good to Chen Shang, they were even more surprised. Even Wang Tianwen didn't expect that this old woman Yu Dandan would take care of Chen Shang so much. Grandma Yu, you are an elder, I should salute you. Chen Shang could only respond politely. Even Li Lingfei and the others in the Godless Palace were very surprised, because Chen Zhang's rune technique was very good, but he was also an alchemist at the same time, which is outrageous. Hey, you really are a disciple of the Zijin Jade Order from the Rune Academy. Yu Dandan smiled and took out a piece of Zijin Jade Order, and handed it to Chen Shang. This is for you. The people present, including those from Wushan Temple, saw Chen Shang get the Purple Gold Jade Order from the Holy Pill Academy, and they were all dumbfounded. At such a young age, get the Purple Gold Jade Order. Even the people in Wushan Temple know that the Purple Gold Jade Order of the Holy Pill Academy is very difficult to handle. It was refined by the Dean himself, and there is a golden sacred pill inlaid on it, which is difficult to forge. Chen Shang can get the Purple Gold Jade Order, that means he has been approved by Dean Shengdan. Even the head teacher Dakin looked at Chen Shang in a daze. The people at the Holy Pill Academy were shocked by Chen Zhang's Purple Gold Jade Order, but didn't say anything. He also fully approved the Dean's decision. The Rune Academy and the Holy Pill Academy were in Dakun sect, which was beyond the control of Dakun, and he did not know the Purple Gold Jade Order issued. Chen Shang took the Purple Gold Jade Order, but he did not wear it, but put it in the storage magic weapon. After all, he carried 2 Purple Gold Jade Orders, which was very eye-catching. No one dared to question the decision of Dean Shengdan. Fu Yuya didn't even dare to let the fart, and the consequences of angering the Holy Pill Academy were very serious. The Dean of the Holy Pill's status is extremely high, mainly because Du Hai's alchemy is very clever. Du Hai has lived for many years, and has been studying pill medicine for hundreds of thousands of years. In addition, he had been advised by Chen Shang that year, so his understanding of pill medicine has been very advanced. Because of this, even the people of Wushan Divine Palace must be polite when they come to the Holy Pill Academy. They dare not be arrogant for fear of offending the Holy Pill Dean. We are only here today to learn the pill technique, after all, it has not been for decades. An old man from Wushan Pill Academy smiled and said, Elder Yu, I wonder if it is convenient for you to learn from us. Okay, then compare and see, it can promote the alchemy of both of us. We learn from each other and make progress. Yu Dandan too much is good. The conversation between the Holy Pill Academy and the Wushan Pill Academy was not as fierce as the Qi Rune Academy and Li Lingfei, but very friendly. The alchemists of Sanctuary seem to be very gentle, and they don't have the kind of hostility to trample people under their feet. This surprised Chen Shang. In contrast, the most arrogant one should be the battle yard, but the battle yard is the lowest. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4174, Different Methods. Chen Shang also wanted to see how the alchemy was done in the sanctuary, and to see the level of young alchemists in the sanctuary. Therefore, Chen Shang focused his attention on the young faces among the pedestrians in the Wushan Pill courtyard. What surprised him was that it was not the young people who were sent by the Wushan Pill Academy to participate in the alchemy competition, but a middle-aged man. As for the Holy Pill Academy, the one sent out was also a middle-aged man. Chen Shang frowned, this was beyond his expectation. However, he also discovered that there seemed to be no young faces on the side of the Holy Pill Academy, and middle-aged faces were considered very young. The next step was to check the pill furnace and the medicinal materials. Yu Dandan went up to check. The people present kept quiet, and they dared not speak, otherwise they would be driven out. Because when alchemists are making alchemy, they are very demanding on the environment, and there are people watching, which causes a lot of psychological pressure on them. Now that people can watch, it's already very good. If you rant again, you will definitely be kicked out. For most people, it is very rare to watch the alchemist's alchemy. Even though the process is very boring, they all want to see it. In most cases, alchemists are confined in secret rooms, and it is difficult to see them. Chen Shang retreated to Ke Yumeng and Fu Yuanyuan, the two of them now admired Chen Shang extremely. The disciple of Zijin Yuling from the 2 courtyards of Dakan Gate should not be too scary. Even if his cultivation is low, he can almost walk sideways at Dakan Gate. Even Fu Yuya would have to bow his head when he saw him. Of course, Chen Shang didn't have any big airs. If he was like Fu Yuya, anyone would have to kneel and bow when he saw him. So everyone's perception of Chen Shang is pretty good. Because he had the purple gold and jade orders from the two courtyards, everyone completely ignored the dark spots on his face, but felt that the dark spots on his face became more pleasing to the eye. Sometimes this is the case. When a person has status and reputation, his appearance will be ignored, but it will be pleasing to the eye. However, everyone still wanted to know Chen Zhang's alchemy level. After all, he could directly obtain the Zijin Jade Order, which made everyone want to know the process. The elders of the Rune Academy, the Holy Pill Academy, and the Wushan Temple thought that Chen Shang could barely refine the pill. However, because he is a young alchemist and he knows runes, the Dean of the Holy Pill will give him a purple gold and jade order. In fact, in the eyes of these elders, as long as they are 14-year-old Chen Shang and know how to make alchemy, no matter how they are made, they are enough to qualify for the Zijin Jade Order, because it is really rare. You know, many people with a little talent have to survive for decades to successfully refine the pill, but this has already been taken seriously. Yumeng, have you seen other people making alchemy before? Chen Shang asked casually Kei Yumeng in a low voice. This little girl was now staring at the two alchemy furnaces. At the same time, she was also dreaming that if she was a pill refining girl, she would be more prestigious. Ah, no, this is the first time I saw it. Kei Yumeng replied in a low voice. She was also worried about disturbing others. Master Shen, can you show me alchemy later? Fu Yuanyuan also asked in a low voice. Of course it can, but it's nothing good. The process is boring. If you want to be good, you can actually do it. Chen Shang smiled. He has a very amazing and cool alchemy, which is to use his divine consciousness to condense a transparent magic furnace. No other furnaces are needed to make alchemy. Everyone can see the process of alchemy inside the magic furnace. This is his unique skill to show off, and it usually doesn't show up easily. Once it shows up, it will definitely harvest a lot of jaw-dropping. Brother Shen, what kind of experience is it to make alchemy? Kei Yumeng wanted to know. I can't tell, but I can teach you. Chen Shang laughed. Next to Chen Shang, there were big men like Master Dakan and Wang Tianwen. When they heard Chen Shang say this, they all turned their heads. It seems to be saying, how old are you? Want to teach others to practice alchemy? Really? That's great. Kei Yumeng was also very naive, a little excited. I will definitely study hard. Master Dakan and Wang Tianwen both shook their heads slightly, only thinking that the two young men, Chen Shang and Kei Yumeng, were talking about it. Pharaoh, what are you shaking your head? Chen Shang asked. How can you learn alchemy with hard work? I tried hard at the beginning, but finally gave up. Wang Tianwen said with a curled mouth. Me too, Master Dakan sighed. At this time, Fu Yuanyuan whispered. They are going to start the comparison. After inspecting the pill furnace and medicinal materials, discussing the rules, and then starting. Don't they bet something? The previous Li Lingfei, but said he would win it back from the Holy Pill Academy. Chen Shang asked curiously. They must bet, but we don't know. And what they are betting is not mines or the like, it should be the holy medicine of high age, or the fire for alchemy. Master Dakun replied in a low voice. Alchemy and fire, what is this? Chen Shang hasn't heard of it yet. Xiao Shen, you are also the Zijin alchemist of the Holy Pill Academy anyway, don't you understand? Wang Tianwen said in surprise. I really don't understand. Chen Shang shook his head. Very rare things, fire comes from God's domain. Many precious medicinal materials require fire to smelt, or special fires are needed to eliminate the resistance of medicinal materials. Wang Tianwen said. It turned out to be like this. When Chen Shang was refining alchemy, he didn't even think about resisting each other. Because as long as it is in his hands, he will naturally use the technique of heavenly refinement to eliminate this rejection. There are various methods of heaven refining techniques, which were created in response to various problems encountered in alchemy. Chen Shang has already integrated all kinds of methods and can use them at will. The alchemy competition began, and the time was set at 2 hours. In the beginning, both parties immediately used a special liquid to clean and treat the medicinal materials. Chen Shang guessed that these special liquids are very likely to eliminate the resistance and promote the fusion of medicinal materials. After cleaning the medicinal materials, a special utensil was used, like a small grinding disc, the size of a wash basin. Use this thing to infuse a certain amount of flame and Dao Yuan sacred power, and then grind the medicinal materials into medicinal liquid and medicinal residue. Then after flame treatment, the medicine ***** is gradually burned into ash, forming medicine powder. At the same time, the liquid medicine is separated. This is the work of processing medicinal materials before alchemy, and it is also very important. However, many people can't even do this step well, let alone the subsequent alchemy. Most of the people present saw it with gusto, and they all looked at it with wide eyes, as if they wanted to keep it in their minds so that they could try it later. For Chen Shang, this was a fundamentally unnecessary process, and it took more than half an hour for this pre-process. And this time is enough for him to refine a furnace or two of pills. World-Defying Dan God Chapter 4175, Who is Too Young? This kind of alchemy process is a pediatrics for Chen Shang, but he still takes it seriously. Because he intends to learn later, after all, his kind of alchemy is too scary, he doesn't want to be so high profile. To handle the medicinal materials well is to put the medicinal powder and medicinal liquid into the pill furnace and begin the process of alchemy. Chen Shang discovered that the alchemist at the Wushan Pill Academy had first put the medicinal powder into the pill furnace. As for the Holy Pill Courtyard, put the liquid medicine in first. They all put the same in first, then refine for a while, and then put the second. This seems very particular, and the methods of alchemy between the two are obviously different. Everyone just watched and did not comment, because alchemy was too high-end for them, and they would talk nonsense if they didn't understand anything, and would be despised by the alchemists present. Chen Zhang's eyes can penetrate the pill furnace and see the internal process, which is one of the abilities brought by his powerful soul. He found that the refining method of first pouring the medicinal powder into the pill furnace will cause the pill furnace to be more irritable, but the medicinal gas emitted will be more concentrated. If you pour the liquid medicine in first, the inside of the pill furnace will be much milder, but the contrast of the medicine phase is less. The disciple of the Holy Pill Academy is going to lose. Chen Shang secretly said in his heart, he had already seen it. The Holy Pill Academy first poured the medicinal liquid into it, which caused the medicinal gas to be not strong enough. The only advantage was that it was relatively stable, but the quality of the alchemy would definitely be affected. The Wushan Pill Courtyard is not stable enough and there is a risk of frying, but once it succeeds, the quality of the holy pill will be extremely high. The pills they refine are all very basic sacred power pill, which is also the best quality appraisal. These two paths cannot be directly said which one is better. There is an element of gambling in the competition. At the Holy Pill Courtyard, bet on the fryer of the Wushan Pill Courtyard. Once you fry it, you win. Wushan Pill Academy is betting that he will not explode, and that he will be able to steadily survive the initial medicinal qi violent period, then after the pill is condensed, the quality must be extremely high. Chen Shang secretly saw that the alchemist in the Wushan Pill Academy had very stable control of the interior of the pill furnace, and had safely passed the medicinal qi rage stage, so the next step was to wait for the pill to be condensed. When approaching 2 hours, they all refined the sacred power pill one after another. The first to leave the pill was the Holy Pill Academy, but his face was a bit ugly, because he knew he had lost. And everyone on the side of Wushan Pill Academy smiled proudly, because they knew they had won. These alchemists were more polite before, but after all, they were still very arrogant. After defeating the enemy, they would show some pride. After the quality appraisal, the Holy Pill Academy is the middle grade Shengli Yuandan, while the Wushan Pill Academy is the middle high grade, slightly higher. Wutian Danyuan can only be said to be a narrow victory, but after all, he won. I'm sorry. Friends of the Holy Pill Academy, let it go. Let it go. The old man of the Wushan Pill Academy laughed loudly. Today was originally your day of great rejoicing. I received a young alchemist, we didn't mean to spoil your interest, please forgive me. It is full of ridicule, but I can't say anything. Yu Dandan felt very uncomfortable. She wanted Chen Shang to go out and find her place, but the dean of the Holy Pill Duhai told her not to expose Chen Zhang's amazing alchemy techniques. Grandma Yu, let me have a discussion with the seniors from Wushan Pill Academy. Chen Shang volunteered and asked. When everyone heard it, they were suddenly excited. Everyone had long wanted to see what level this Zijin Yuling disciple who had just entered the Holy Pill Academy was. Yu Dandan was very embarrassed. Chen Shang whispered to Yu Dandan secretly, and said, Grandma Yu, did Mrs. Du tell you not to let me play? Yes. Yu Dandan nodded. Don't worry, I use the common alchemy instead of my own. I just learned the common alchemy. Chen Shang said, I will definitely win. Du Lao also has an explanation. Okay. Yu Dandan also agreed, and then went to talk to the people in Wushan Pill Academy, and they wanted to talk about the stakes. Because Yu Dandan knew that Chen Shang was very good at refining the sacred power pill, then Chen Shang would definitely win, so she had to win back what she had just lost. Not many people knew exactly what they were talking about. They only knew that the elders at the Wushan Pill Academy were smiling happily. It should be that they thought Chen Shang would lose and that he would win a lot of votes after winning. At this time, the Wushan Pill Academy sent another middle-aged person out. Seeing this middle-aged man, everyone was surprised and exclaimed in a low voice. Isn't this Jie Yan? Look at his waist, with Wushan Jade Order. He is the Wushan Jade Order alchemist of Wushan Pill Academy. Well, depending on his age, he is very young. This is the youngest and most outstanding Wushan Jade Order alchemist in Wushan Pill Academy. For Jie Yan, the rune masters on the side of the Wushan temple were all in awe, and cast their respectful eyes. Jie Yan is an alchemist of Wushan Jade Order, and Chen Shang is an alchemist of Zijin Jade Order. Their identities and status are equal. However, Jie Yan is old after all, so the pill refining is based on experience and practice. Jie Yan is an alchemy master, and his cultivation level must not be low. Maybe he is already in the Saint Master realm, or even Saint Monarch realm. Most of the alchemists, cultivation is kept secret, and I don't know why. The pill furnace and various medicinal materials processing utensils used by Chen Shang were just those, and the medicinal materials of Shengli Yuan pill were still there. Even so, both sides conducted a careful inspection and then confessed the rules. The next results are even more exciting. It was mainly because Chen Shang, a 14-year-old Zijinyu, made the alchemist appear on the stage, and the Holy Pill Academy had also made a huge bet. Chen Shang just watched it once and knew how to deal with medicinal materials, but he was very fast in all aspects, much faster than the opposite. The elder of the Wushan Pill Academy saw it and shook his head and smiled. After all, he is a young man, eager for quick success and quick profit, too anxious. Many of the elders present were dissatisfied with the speed at which Chen Shang handled the medicinal materials, especially those old alchemists. Because in the process of alchemy, they have suffered a lot of big losses in dealing with imperfect medicinal materials. However, for Chen Shang, this process is not necessary. Like the previous alchemists, Chen Shang poured the liquid medicine in first. Seeing him doing this, the alchemists of Wushan Pill Academy showed a triumphant smile. Putting the liquid medicine first is destined to follow a stable route, so there will be no breakthrough in quality. After all, the cultivation base is low, so I can only take a stable route. Since I want to be stable, why did I deal with medicinal materials so impatiently just now? An old man from the Wushan Pill Academy shook his head and smiled. Young people are young people, and they need more grinding practice. When Chen Shang heard this, he thought to himself, you are still too young. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4176, Wonderful Danxiang. Regarding the comments on alchemy, only alchemists have a say, so laymen are afraid to say anything. But they all could see that the Wushan Pill Academy was holding the winning ticket. Although Chen Zhang's practice was the same as the former disciple of the Holy Pill Court who lost, it only looked the same. The opposite Wushandan courtyard is to put medicinal powder first, and the reaction between medicinal powder and flame is very intense, so it can produce very strong medicinal gas. Then put the medicinal liquid in. At this time, after the medicinal liquid is vaporized, it can be directly integrated into the strongly reacting medicinal gas. The refining method that Chen Shang put in the liquid medicine was mainly for stability. When the liquid medicine enters the pill furnace, it can suppress the flame in the pill furnace to a certain extent and lower the temperature of the pill furnace. However, even if Chen Shang put the liquid medicine in first, it would make the pill furnace irritable. For example, after he pours the powder in the back, he will intensify the flame, so that the flame and the powder can also react strongly. Not only that, he can even make the flame and the liquid medicine collide with each other, producing an extremely intense reaction, which can stimulate a stronger medicine gas. Chen Shang mainly used very clever fire control techniques, which he used was very easy and simple. However, this is difficult for many alchemists. Because the flame that can burn the holy medicine is already very powerful, it needs to be accurately controlled and freely retractable, which requires high requirements for all alchemists, and if it fails, it will directly fry the furnace. Chen Shang is already handy in controlling fire, which is very easy for him. Of course, in order not to appear so alarming, Chen Shang deliberately slowed down, otherwise he would soon be able to refine a furnace of Shengli Yuandan. Next, Chen Shang and the opposite alchemist Zhe Yan entered a very quiet alchemy stage. This stage is essentially to control the flame, to fully incinerate the medicinal materials, and to control the medicinal gas of various medicinal materials to merge into one. This process is very important and very difficult. It is the biggest problem in alchemy itself to prevent various medicinal qi and powder from repelling infusion. If this step is not done well, the subsequent stage of condensing pills will definitely fail. And Chen Shang got through it easily, and he was still trying, secretly using the inanimate heavenly technique. Wusheng Tianshu can condense the inanimate heaven dew, and Chen Shang can transform the condensed inanimate heaven dew into gas, and quietly transport it into the pill furnace. In this way, the quality of medicinal gas and powder can be improved. But he only tried it a little bit, and didn't over-inject the lifeless dew, so as not to get the astonishingly high quality. Chen Shang suddenly faced a problem. Because he can refine several pills in this furnace, mainly because he refines a very strong medicinal energy, enough to make medicinal powder condense 5 high-quality Shengli Yuandan. The reason why it is a problem is because if he really condenses 5 high-quality sacred power pill, it will be very amazing. But he doesn't want to be so scary now. After all, in the previous competition between the Wushan Pill Academy and the Holy Pill Academy, both sides only refined 1 pill each. Chen Shang considered it, and could only endure reluctance to control the leakage of medicine gas. Therefore, in the calm process of alchemy, there was a burst of pill incense spilling out of the crowd. Just smelling this pill incense made people feel very comfortable. Danxiang covered the entire courtyard, making people talk in a low voice. At the beginning, many people believed that Chen Zhang's alchemy technique was very clever. After all, he could make such a fragrant pill. However, the elder at the Wushan Pill Academy sneered at this, and shook his head repeatedly, and sighed, "The young man is the young man. How can he condense the pill if he can't hold it down? I'm afraid he will fail to condense the pill. Dan incense is very fragrant, and the quality should be very good, but it's a pity, he can't suppress the pill energy. It is hopeless to condense the pill. Young people are eager for quick success and quick profit, and their temperament is unstable. This kind of mistake is also very common." An old man also sighed. They are all old alchemists, and the quality can be distinguished from the pill incense. If the pill is condensed smoothly, the quality must be excellent. In fact, they were already very surprised in their hearts, because Chen Shang, a 14-year-old boy, seemed to be very reckless in his operations, but he was able to refine such a fragrant essence, which was enough to show that he was talented. Even Yu Dandan feels a little anxious for Chen Shang, because the pill fragrance that floats out is too strong. It is the fragrance that is only in the process of condensing the pill, it is the pill gas to pass the medicine gas stage. But now, the pill energy that overflowed from the Chen Shang pill furnace still didn't mean to weaken, and the scent was greedily absorbed by the people present. Especially those young people with a low cultivation base, they smelled this pill incense, and their spirits were much better. It can be seen that the quality of Chen Zhang's furnace pill energy is extremely high. Therefore, even the alchemist at the Wushan Pill Academy felt very sorry for this, because if the pill was condensed smoothly, it must be a sacred power pill of excellent quality. Although Chen Shang now gives people a feeling of failure in condensing pill, but because the pill qi he refined is very fragrant, many people think that his talent is extremely high. Of course, this was done deliberately by Chen Shang. Not to mention the pill furnace, even if there is no pill furnace, he can still keep his pill energy. At this time, Zhe Yan on the opposite side also began to enter the stage of pill condensation, and he also vented his pill. In the process of condensing the pill, a large mass of medicinal gas and powder must be pressed into a pill, and tremendous pressure will be generated in the pill furnace. At this time, you must skillfully release the pressure, release part of the very violent pill energy, and ensure the success of the pill condensation. Therefore, most alchemists can only refine 1 pill when refining the sacred power pill. Because the pressure is released and the gas is released, the fryer will easily fail or fail. However, Zhe Yan's core energy does not have the fragrance of Chen Shang. The pill energy refined by Chen Shang should be the most scented by all the alchemists present. So everyone thought that Chen Shang might have mastered a peculiar pill technique that could lead to a high quality of pill energy. Zhe Yan was the first to successfully condense the pill, a sacred power pill. It was top grade. The so-called quality is actually weighing a pill. The instrument for weighing the pill is very sensitive and can weigh very small weights, and then convert the weight into a quality value. For example, Yan, the pill, weighed 60. Below 30 is a low-grade pill, 30 to 59 is a middle-grade pill, and 60 is just a top-grade pill. After judging the quality of Yan Shengli Yuan Dan, Chen Shang opened the furnace. 2 strong rays of light shot out, and it turned out to be 2 holy power pills. Chen Shang was really reluctant to let go of so much pill energy. Even though the sacred power pill was not a precious pill to him, he did not want to waste too much pill refining, so he finally condensed 2 pill. Seeing these 2 radiant sacred power pills came out, Yu Dandan suddenly smiled, because the outcome was determined. Do you like this site? Donate here. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4177, A Stove of Double Pill. Everyone at the scene fell into incomparable shock, staring blankly at the 2 Saint Power Yuan pills that were slowly floating from the pill furnace. This is a double pill. I haven't seen a double pill for a long time. Headmaster Dakin exclaimed. This is a very clever alchemy, and an alchemist who can master this kind of alchemy is rare in 10,000 years. Yu Dandan also suddenly recovered. Chen Shang released a lot of pill energy before, just to deliberately conceal himself, otherwise Chen Shang could condense a few at the same time. Shuang Dan is a very genius, but this is not yet Chen Zhang's true level. I understand. Because it is a double pill, a strong pill energy is emitted. It is not that the pill energy cannot be suppressed, but the pill energy is too strong. If the pressure is not released, it will be difficult to succeed. The old man exclaimed. I just don't know how exactly did he do it to make a high-quality double pill. There is only one possibility, his flame. Could it be, he was born with a holy flame? The alchemists on this side of the Holy Pill Academy were all boiling and discussing. Only the dean of the Holy Pill Duhai can do a double pill technique, so Duhai can become the dean. Now, the Holy Pill Academy and Rune Academy, as well as Master Dakin understand why the director of the Holy Pill gave Chen Shang a purple gold jade order. If Chen Shang is not worthy, then no one is worthy of the Zijinyu order. At this time, Wang Tianwen also remembered that Chen Shang had said before that he prefers alchemy, and runes are learned casually. This is the most irritating place. Rune is just learning to learn casually, so it is so powerful. If you study it seriously, do you have to? Everyone on the Wushan Pill Academy was speechless, because they were also shocked. Li Lingfei and the rune masters also felt very incredible, because Chen Zhang's rune level was at the level of young people, and he was also a genius once in a million. Being proficient in pill and rune at the same time, that may be a genius who hasn't appeared in tens of thousands of years. At this moment, Fu Yuya and others were deeply shocked in their hearts. Because from the mouths of distinguished elders, Chen Shang is a genius, a rare encounter in tens of thousands of years. It is conceivable how this status will develop in Dakun sect. Even if Chen Shang is not the head teacher in the future, his status will definitely surpass that of the head teacher. The elder head teacher, that's a mess. Dean Rune of Dakun sect and Dean Shengdan are very powerful in front of the head teacher. If Chen Shang could control the 2 houses in the future, wouldn't he be invincible in Dakun sect? That Fu Yuya was really just a fart in front of Chen Shang. You lost. Yu Dandan smiled. Zhe Yan, who fought against Chen Shang, was still a little dissatisfied, and shouted, testing the quality, maybe the 2 pills, quality combined, is not as good as mine. Many old alchemists shook their heads again and again, because judging from the bareness and the pill incense, this quality could not be low. However, they are also very curious about the quality of Chen Zhang's double pill. Okay, Yu Dandan smiled and made a, please, gesture to let Wushan Academy conduct a test. An old man stepped forward with the test equipment, and after testing 1 pellet, his hands trembled. 98, the best sacred power pill. The second one, 100. It's also the best sacred power pill. A furnace of double pill, all are the best. This shocked the entire Holy Pill Court once again, and shocked everyone present. What a superb alchemy is this? Who passed it on? Because in the history of Dakun sect, there has never been such an outstanding alchemist ancestor. Certain, Chen Shang just said modestly, and then retreated to Yu Dandan. In the instant just now, Chen Shang felt a very weak killing intent. And this killing intent comes from all directions. In other words, there are many people who have murdered him, including Wushan Temple and Dakun sect. Chen Shang couldn't tell who wanted to kill him, but he didn't find it strange that the talent he showed could indirectly damage the long-term interests of some people, and it was normal for others to want to kill him. From beginning to end, Chen Shang didn't pay much attention to Fu Yuya, as if this Da Kun Men's senior sister with peerless appearance was not worth mentioning in his eyes. Kei Yumeng was the most excited, because she finally had a friend with an alchemist, and her age was not much different, so it would be great to communicate. Before meeting Fu Yuan, the rune master and alchemist gave her the feeling that they were both middle-aged and old, and she had to be polite when she met these people. And Chen Shang is very gentle in front of her, sometimes even laughing with her, is a very good big brother, and also very handsome. Kei Chodong should be the hottest one. Before, she despised Chen Shang for getting home, and even scolded Chen Shang one by one, and all kinds of slander Kei Yumeng chased after the ugly men and brought ugly men home. But now, the ugly boy that Kei Yumeng brought home is so talented that there are the deans of the two courtyards behind him. Kei Chodong was very jealous at the moment. Yes, she no longer felt that Chen Shang was ugly. The people present seemed to have ignored the dark spots on Chen Zhang's face. When one has absolute status, no one cares about a person's beauty or ugliness, because the impression of beauty and ugliness is far less impressive than that of status. We have compared 4 times, and both sides have won 2 games each. That's also a tie. The person from Wushan Temple smiled. The overall strength of your Wushan Divine Palace is far surpassing our Da Kun sect. Moreover, there are 3 Danfu contests. You only won 1 and we won 2. How can this be considered a tie? The teacher was a little dissatisfied, but he smiled on his face. Meaning, isn't the losing battle in the battle hall counted? Or is it that the battle hall doesn't belong to the Da Kun sect? The old man of Wushan Shrine chuckled. This makes the disciples of the war courtyard very upset. You know, they are usually in the Wushan temple, which is very arrogant. However, in the eyes of Master Da Kun, their status is so low. Today's incident also made them understand who is the pillar of the Dakan Gate. The disciples of the Holy Pill Academy and the Rune Academy just don't move around very often, so they are allowed to be arrogant in the Dakan Gate. Their battle courtyard, others Rune courtyard and Holy Pill courtyard, have never regarded their battle courtyard in the eyes. This little brother, you will definitely be famous for the whole Saint Profound Star after today. With your talent, staying in the Da Kun sect is very wrong. You might as well consider our Wushan Shrine. You need a big stage. The elder of Wushan Shrine actually wanted to dig Chen Shang publicly. Thank you predecessor for your appreciation, but there is a saying that Wushan Shrine is much weaker than All Heaven's Palace, and it is not a big stage. Chen Shang laughed. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4178, Da Kun Gate. The Temple of Heaven is the enemy of the Temple of Heaven, and the Temple of Heaven has always been very powerful, and it appeared earlier than the Temple of Heaven, and has long been famous. Although behind Wushan Shrine is also one of the 6 Fate of Souls, but in Aoshi universe, he is not very concerned about Wushan Shrine, which is why Wushan Shrine lags behind in other heavens. Chen Zhang's words also angered the people in Wushan Temple, but they couldn't refute it, because they all knew that what Chen Shang said was the truth. Wushan Temple wants to dig Chen Shang, but if Chen Shang wants to leave Dakan Gate, why not go to the halls of heaven? So this is a face-slap thing for Wushan Shrine. Chen Shang helped Da Kun men win 2 trials and still crushed the opponent. He really couldn't keep a low profile anymore. His name will soon spread throughout the Saint Profound Star, and all the major forces of the Saint Profound Star will know it. Chen Shang thought deeply about it before. Should he do high-profile activities in the sanctuary? Although the Mother of Heaven has told him, let him keep a low profile. But afterwards, Chen Shang thought about it, and planned to try it out. If he became famous in the sanctuary, would he alarm the 6th clan of Life Soul? When they heard the name, would they send someone to find him? There is also that Mad Beast King, will he also come to him? The main reason is that Chen Shang can't bear loneliness. In his opinion, if you keep a low profile, you will lose a lot of excitement and fun. If the Life Soul 6 clan really came to trouble him, then maybe it could stimulate him to cultivate faster. Wushan Divine Palace came to Dakan Gate this time, and it only defeated the War Court. Faced with the Rune Court and the Holy Pill Court, they all lost miserably. Especially in the later contest between Chen Shang and Jie Yan, Wushan Pill Academy had lost all of the previous wins, not to mention it, and posted a lot. As for what they are, Chen Shang still doesn't know. After the competition was over, Yu Dandan let the others leave, and then led Chen Shang into the largest and tallest building in the middle of the Holy Pill courtyard. Chen Shang asked Ke Yumeng and Fu Yuanyuan to return to the Longlin Inn first, and promised Ke Yumeng that he would go back soon. When Ke Yumeng left, he was very unwilling to give up, worried that Chen Shang would live in the Sacred Pill Academy, and then the distance between the two would get farther and farther. Master Dakan and Wang Tianwen, they all wanted to say a few words with Chen Shang, but they were taken away by Yu Dandan without a chance. They didn't dare to rob someone from the Holy Pill Academy, so they had to leave, and waited for Chen Shang to leave the Holy Pill Academy before looking for Chen Shang. The other disciples of the Holy Pill Academy were very satisfied with this new disciple, and they all believed that Chen Shang would be the heir of the Dean of the Holy Pill. Yu Dandan led Chen Shang into the building, instead of going directly to the top floor, but going through a teleportation array into the deep underground floor. There is a huge underground building in the Holy Pill courtyard, which seems to be a secret. Entering the deep ground, Chen Shang came to a very spacious underground plaza, which can accommodate tens of thousands of people, and it is very bright, with illumination close to sunlight. Chen Shang felt the light, and knew that this light could accelerate the growth of medicinal materials. President, Xiao Shen is here. Yu Dandan shouted to the empty medicine field, then turned his head and left. After Yu Dandan left, Du Hai walked out of a small building with a smile. Grandpa Du, is this your secret base? Chen Shang smiled and said, what do you plan to plant? It took me many years to build this place. The stones inlaid on the top layer are all precious gems that I have collected during my many years of traveling in the universe. Du Hai said, there is a holy spring here. The precious holy medicine I have collected over the years. Grandpa Du, do you know everything about me before? Chen Shang asked. Well, Wushan Pill Academy is still the same, always like to come to us for a competition, this time thanks to you, or they will lose miserably. Du Hai smiled and said, Xiao Shen, this is a reward for you. Du Hai knew that Chen Shang was very powerful, but he still cared for him as a junior, and he also knew that Chen Shang had a low cultivation base and needed a holy pill. What kind of saint pill is this? Chen Shang took the bottle. The third order sacred power pill. You previously refined the first order sacred pill, but the highest sacred pill has 10 levels, and the refined medicinal materials are different. In addition to requiring a high age, you also need to add special high age medicinal materials. Refining higher level sacred power pill. Du Hai said. How much are these 10 grains worth? Chen Shang asked curiously. 150 million DZI bead, here is 500 million. Du Hai smiled and said, you are welcome, you are in urgent need of improving your cultivation. With your foundation, you should be able to withstand these 10 pills. If it's someone else, it's just the middle stage of the most holy realm, let alone the third order sacred pill, even the second order sacred pill can't bear it. Even the first order sacred pill of Wang product was somewhat unbearable. Thank you, Grandpa Du. It's all my own, why are you polite? Chen Shang can make alchemy by himself, but he has no medicinal materials. He entrusted the fat shopkeeper to buy them, and he does not know when it will be. He also knows now that just a tier 3 holy pill can be sold so expensive, if it is a higher order. Of course, for the third order holy pill, the medicinal materials needed are definitely expensive. Grandpa Du, if I'm famous, will there be any actions in the halls of heaven and Wushan Temple? Chen Shang asked. Maybe, but it's not a problem for you. You guy, you are a master who can't sit still, you can't act low-key at all. Du Hai shook his head and smiled. Don't worry, as long as you are in Dakun sect, nothing will happen. I can't be too lazy now. Chen Shang smiled and said, Grandpa Du, I'm going back first. Don't plan to live in the Holy Pill courtyard? Du Hai asked. No, otherwise the Rune Academy will be unhappy at that time. Chen Shang grinned. Wang Tianwen, he didn't dare to say anything. Du Hai laughed, that guy is afraid of me. He has already worshipped me as his elder brother, I just don't want him to feel uncomfortable. Chen Shang said with a smile. Moreover, I also have some things to do, sometimes it's not convenient here. That's okay, if you have anything, please contact me directly with the messenger. Du Hai nodded. It is good. Chen Shang left the Holy Pill courtyard and hurried back to Longlin Inn. When he entered the gate of Longlin Inn, he did not expect that the entire lobby was filled with tables. You know, this lobby is usually empty, because it was too deserted, so the tables and chairs were removed. However, it's put on again now, and it's still full of people. Of these people, 1 or 2 were the kind of people with large and small forces behind them, or came from Kanglan Haicheng. They came here to get close to Chen Shang. The fat shopkeeper naturally wanted to make a fortune from it, but he also protected Chen Shang very well. Seeing Chen Shang had just entered the door, he quickly took Chen Shang away and entered the transfer room to the top floor. Although everyone only saw Chen Shang, it was enough, because Chen Shang did not live in the Holy Pill courtyard for a long time, but returned to Longlin Inn. Before, many people wondered why Chen Shang, a young man, could afford to live in such an expensive place. Now that I think about it, I understand that this kind of character is not bad at all. In the Tianyan restaurant next door, the shopkeeper was bleeding with regret, because Chen Shang had to stay in Tianyan restaurant before, but because Chen Shang offended Fu Yuya, he blasted Chen Shang away. However, it now appears that Fu Yuya is a fart in front of Chen Shang. Tianyan restaurant offended Chen Shang for a fart, which has become the laughingstock of the whole market in Dakunmen. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4179, Status. Chen Shang was a disciple of the Zijin Jade Order of the Sacred Pill Academy and the Rune Academy, and the Sacred Power Yuan pills he refined were of the highest grade, and he could still have 2 pills in one furnace. As long as you have a good relationship with him and entrust him to refine the Sacred Power pill, there is definitely no problem. After all, he refines a furnace of pill very quickly. It is difficult to make friends with Chen Shang, but those who come to Longlin Inn will not let go of any opportunity to cheat Chen Shang. In their view, Chen Shang is the most powerful person in the Dakun sect in the future. If there is a glimmer of hope to make friends with Chen Shang, no matter how much it costs, it will be a profit. When Chen Shang came out of the teleportation room, the fat shopkeeper was a little embarrassed and said, "Master Shen, because of your reputation, our inn is very popular, but you can rest assured that we will ensure that Master Shen will not be disturbed." Brother Shen, seeing Chen Shang coming, Kei Yumeng trot over from the living room very happy. "Fat brother, don't let those people disturb Yumeng, you know." Chen Shang touched Kei Yumeng's face. "This is a must." The fat shopkeeper nodded repeatedly, but he knew for the first time about Chen Shang in the Rune Academy and the Holy Pill Academy. Regarding this incident, he also quickly passed it back to Kanglan Dragon Gate in Kanglan Sea City. After all, Chen Shang is now a distinguished guest of Longlin Inn. The fat shopkeeper really hopes that Kanglan Dragon Gate can seize this opportunity to make friends with Chen Shang. After all, this is of great benefit to Kanglan Dragon Gate. "Yumeng, where is Yuan Yuan?" Chen Shang didn't see Fu Yuan Yuan. She said she was looking for Granny Kun Min. Kei Yumeng whispered. Chen Shang also nodded. Fu Yuan Yuan should go to Kun Min and tell her about Chen Shang. By the way, Master Shen, the head teacher of Dakun sect and the head of the Rune Academy are waiting in a living room I arranged. I wonder if it is convenient for you to see them now. The fat shopkeeper coughed dryly. He also felt a little unbelievable, because when Master Dakun saw Chen Shang, he couldn't meet directly, he had to behave properly. "Of course it's convenient, please bring them up soon." Chen Shang laughed quickly. "I should have invited them up here early to wait for me. I'm going now." The fat shopkeeper hurriedly went personally. Not long after, Master Dakan and Wang Tianwen arrived. These 2 old men are in Dakumen. They are very high status, but facing a junior, they actually have to visit. Kei Yumeng became very cautious. She naturally knew the status of these 2 old men was very high, so she didn't dare to speak much. Chen Shang and Kei Yumeng were also very polite to these 2 elders. "Xiao Shen, it's no wonder you don't want to live in the Rune Academy." When Wang Tianwen came here, seeing the luxurious hall and the tables full of sacred fruits, he laughed and said, "If it were me, I would not live in the Rune Academy either." "Xiao Shen, do you live in the Holy Pill Academy?" Headmaster Dakun asked. The smile on Wang Tianwen's face is a bit less. If Chen Shang stays in the Holy Pill Academy, this will be a big blow to the Rune Academy. After all, Chen Shang was a disciple of Zijin Yuling from both the Rune Academy and the Holy Pill Academy. If Chen Shang chooses the Holy Pill Academy, it means that his focus is not on the Rune Academy. "I won't live. The Holy Pill Academy is not as comfortable here either." Chen Shang said with a smile. "I don't know if the head teacher and the dean are here. What are the important things?" Wang Tianwen's face was filled with a thick smile again. The fat shopkeeper has retired. After all, he is just an outsider. Kei Yumeng had to leave, but Master Dakan asked her to stay. "As Yumeng, I've seen you several times. Don't worry, your father, Elder Kei, will soon be released from the prison." He was framed and framed. Master Da Kun said. Really, thank you for returning my father's innocence. Kei Yumeng was very happy and quickly grateful. You're welcome. Actually, this is all the credit of Xiao Shen. Master Da Kun laughed, because he did receive Kun Min's order. Kun Min, the founder of the mountain, has been missing for a while. Now he suddenly contacted him and asked them to arrange someone to investigate the matter of Kei Yuanfei, and Kei Yumeng was with Shen Shang again. Think about it and know what happened. Thank you, brother Shen. Kei Yumeng was really grateful to Chen Shang. Thank you. Are we friends? Chen Shang smiled. He also loves the kind and innocent little girl like Kei Yumeng, just like his sister. Xiao Shen, you helped our Rune Academy win over 100 mines. It's a great credit. You must share your benefits. Wang Tianwen smiled and said, 100 mines, each mine produces about 10 million DZI beads per year. 100 mines produce about 1 billion DZI beads per year. I will give you 30%, 300 million a year, how about? After that, Wang Tianwen handed Chen Shang a storage box with 300 million DZI beads, some sacred symbols, and defensive sacred artifacts. Thank you, Dean. Chen Shang was also very satisfied with this, not Wang Tianwen said, he didn't even know that he had this gain. He thought that Wang Tianwen just sent him a little reward. Xiao Shen, your reputation is so big now, you will be a little annoyed. But don't worry, I promise you will never be in the Da Kun sect, and no one will harass you. Headmaster Da Kun said seriously, Yuya, this girl, I was so excessive to you before, I apologize to you again for her. Teacher, the matter is over, I didn't take it to heart. Chen Shang smiled and said, this is all between our juniors, and it's actually nothing. He said so, but if Fu Yuya wanted to really make trouble, he would never let this woman go, even if she was a junior in the clan. Shen Gongzi really has a large number of adults, this kind of aura is hard for many young people to match. Master Da Kun sighed. Afterwards, Wang Tianwen and Master Dakin ate some sacred fruit, chatted with Shen Shang while talking and laughing for a while, and then left the Longlin Inn. At this time, Kei Yumeng dared to open his mouth to eat those holy fruits. Yumeng, do you think there are still people who dislike my inferior appearance? Chen Shang smiled. Brother Shen, you don't have to pretend to be ugly anymore. In Da Kun sect, who would dare to look down on you? Kei Yumeng smiled. Look at the master, he is very polite to you, he didn't say anything. What? So, judging people by their appearance is not good. Chen Shang said. Look at that Fu Yuya, he has a good skin, but his character is too bad. Fu Yuya will definitely converge in the future. Kei Yumeng said. She apologized. Fart. The head teacher apologized for her, she herself is not qualified to come to me to apologize, I think she is not willing to come. Chen Shang did not believe that Fu Yuya would apologize. Fu Yuya thinks she has Kun Min as her backer, so there is no need to be afraid of anyone, she will continue to be proud. Kei Yumeng, who was eating the sacred fruit, suddenly took out the talisman and said, there is urgent news, it is from the war courtyard. Kei Yumeng is a disciple of the war courtyard, and there are many things in the war courtyard. After receiving the news, Kei Yumeng's face was a bit ugly, and she complained, the War Academy is going to send me out to perform the task. You're only from the most holy realm, right? You need to go out. Chen Shang frowned, and at this time, there is a problem. Everyone now knows that Kei Yumeng and Shen Shang have a very good relationship, but it is impossible for Chen Shang not to think about that when she is sent out so suddenly. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4180, Treacherous Man. Kei Yumeng didn't think there was anything, and sighed lightly, Brother Shen, there won't be any problems. The War Academy has lost a lot this time, so we disciples of the War Academy must help the War Academy to earn it back. It's not that you lost the resources of the Battle Academy, so why let you earn it? It's Fu Yuya and the group of Zijinyuling disciples of the Battle Academy. They are arrogant and can't beat Wushan Shrine. Chen Shang was very upset. Said, I'll talk to the head teacher, let you stay. Brother Shen, no need, no need. I must go, after all, I am a member of the war courtyard. Kei Yumeng is still very responsible, and she doesn't want to be called stage fright. Chen Shang was very sure that someone wanted to take revenge on Kei Yumeng secretly, and it was most likely her evil sister. Kei Chodong is not a good thing, and her mother is still a penalty elder. She can't deal with Chen Shang, but can't deal with Kei Yumeng. What's more, she has now learned that the head teacher will start investigating Kei Yuanfei. If it is clear that Ke Yuanfei is acquitted, then it will be even more difficult to move Ke Yumeng. In short, Chen Shang associates it with Ke Chodong and her brother, who wants to make things difficult for Ke Yumeng in the dark. Will the disciples of Zijin Yuling be sent out? How do you disciples from the court earn the DZI? Chen Shang did not stop Ke Yumeng from going, because he planned to follow it secretly. Zijin Yuling will be sent out, mainly to fight some evil beasts. Powerful evil beasts are full of treasures. Moreover, evil beasts often threaten some small sects, or the territory of small families, they can't deal with it. Will let us pass, Ke Yumeng said. Then what are you going to do this time? Chen Shang has already decided to follow Ke Yumeng secretly to see who is going to deal with this simple little girl. Go fight the evil beasts. To the west of Dakan Gate, 2 days away, there is a large forest. There are a large number of evil beasts over there. These evil beasts rarely come out, but sometimes they come out to attack. A small town nearby, Ke Yumeng said. Anyway, Dad is coming out soon, I want to do it well this time and make him happy. Yumeng, you are at the pinnacle of the most sacred realm now. You only almost reached the great sacred realm? Chen Shang asked. Yeah, I've been stuck in this state for a long time. Ke Yumeng sighed lightly. So I want to go out and practice, maybe I can break through. When are you leaving? Chen Shang asked again. I will go to the assembly tomorrow morning. But I plan to go now and get familiar with the other senior brothers and sisters teammates. Ke Yumeng said. Brother Shen, Sister Yuan will be back later, you help me tell her. Okay, Chen Shang nodded, then took out a storage box. This was given to him by Wang Tianwen together with 300 million DZI beads, which contains sacred symbols and some sanctuary equipment. Yumeng, you take these sacred charms and this armor, you must use them when necessary, don't save it. Chen Shang pushed over. When Ke Yumeng saw the dozen or so sacred symbols, he was shocked to speak. Chen Shang was a little speechless. After all, this Ke Yumeng was also the elder's daughter. How could it be as if he had never seen the world before? Brother Shen, I can't ask for it, it's too precious. Of course Ke Yumeng wanted it, but she still resisted the temptation. This is nothing to me. Besides, I don't need to run around now. And I'm a rune master, a alchemist, and a disciple of Zijin Yuling. I want the holy talisman, so I just ask the dean. It's fine, Chen Shang laughed. You heard the dean say before, give me 300 million DZI beads every year, do you think I will be poor? Big brother Shen, you are so powerful, you are more capable than my father at your young age. Your wealth is probably something he can't earn. Ke Yumeng said with emotion. So you accept it? You are the first good friend I met when I came out of the mountains. I don't want anything to happen to you. Chen Shang smiled and said, you call my brother, then you are my good sister. So don't worry about me, okay? Thank you brother Shen. Ke Yumeng only felt warm. She was often bullied by the evil sister and the evil brother before, but now she feels the care of the big brother Chen Shang. Such a caring feeling makes her feel very warm and happy. Ke Yumeng accepted the sacred amulet given by Chen Shang, and then was stuffed a lot of sacred fruit to her by Chen Shang, and asked her to keep a low profile, don't let people know. She kept Shen Zhang's words in her heart. She might not listen to others' words, but she would definitely listen to Chen Zhang's words. When Ke Yumeng left the Longlin Inn, Chen Shang asked the fat brother to send a master to drive her to the war courtyard. Then, Chen Shang sent Demon Shadow Soul to follow Ke Yumeng, while he was waiting for Fu Yuanyuan to return. Not long after, Fu Yuanyuan returned to Longlin Inn. She could have stayed at Qingshanzhuang, but she still felt comfortable in Longlin Inn, and she wanted to be with Chen Shang. After Fu Yuanyuan came back, Chen Shang immediately told her about Ke Yumeng's going out to perform the task. She is not as innocent as Ke Yumeng. She and Chen Shang, after learning about it, immediately thought of someone secretly targeting Ke Yumeng. Yumeng shouldn't be sent out at this age, even if the battle courtyard is losing a lot. Fu Yuanyuan frowned. Master Shen, do you want me to let Granny Kunman take action and help Yumeng, or me? Looking for a head teacher? No, I plan to follow it secretly to see who is going to kill Yumeng. Chen Shang said. Yuanyuan, you will stay here these few days to create the illusion that I am refining alchemy at the Longlin Inn. Quote. This, young Master Shen, your cultivation is only in the middle of the Holy Realm. It is very dangerous for you to go out alone. Fu Yuanyuan was shocked when he heard Chen Zhang's plan. Don't worry, I have a bodyguard. Don't you think that I can come to Dakan Gate from a very dangerous mountain alone? Chen Shang laughed. Yes. Fu Yuanyuan was relieved a lot. Chen Shang immediately contacted the fat shopkeeper and asked him to investigate the team where Ke Yumeng was out to see if there were any suspicious characters in the team. The fat shopkeeper was very powerful, and soon it was discovered that the team leader's name was Ke Fengping, Ke Yumeng's brother, the pinnacle of the great sacred realm. He also realized that someone was targeting Ke Yumeng. After all, she was too young to be sent out. The fat shopkeeper also reminded Chen Shang to tell Ke Yumeng or send someone to protect Chen Shang secretly. Chen Shang just nodded, and didn't say much, because he decided to go out. In the middle of the night, Chen Shang quietly mixed out of Longlin Inn and came to the battle courtyard where Ke Yumeng was. The demon shadow spirit is already here, and he has been staring at Ke Yumeng to prevent someone from stalking Ke Yumeng at night. At dawn, Ke Yumeng's team set off. The team she followed consisted of 10 people in total. They went out from the west gate of Dakan Gate to the Evil Beast Forest to the west. Chen Shang and Demon Shadow Divine Soul followed secretly. After leaving Dakan Gate for a long time, the Fat Elder informed him that Ke Yuanfei had been released, but he was seriously injured and is currently in treatment.